it just feels like he's forcing it because
Okay. Let's see.
Thunder Skull is cool. Like
Test, test, test.
I feel
Okay,
like he would have done
cool.
it faster if he didn't do Thunder
Looks like we're
Skull.
good.
But it's just a cool. It's a very cool tag. So why not?
I'm just gonna be eating for a bit
I
before
mean,
it starts.
you never know when you get rolled, but of course you can't really get rolled with
Well,
this
in
data
this
pad.
tournament, yeah, in this tournament you don't really get rolled. I don't think I've seen anybody getting like worse than 3 for I don't know 50.
Yeah, it is. The main difference with the data pack compared to normal is the odds are slightly increased and it's more normalized, so you'll normally get about the same odds. You won't normally get like a 3 and 5 skulls that you can get in vanilla. Oh, yep,
Okay,
getting
nice.
one skull here. This is looking pretty good. I think this is going to be the best Thunder Skulls we've seen in this tournament.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does it not work if both of them are in the boat? Do you need to break the boat necessarily?
Yeah, you do need to break the boat, otherwise the boat just absorbs all the damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you get a boat skull.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like... Oh, gosh. And Fyro has fallen again.
His speed to switch to his Elytra is unmatched. I've never seen that. Like,
I think
honestly, hardcore players should take notes, because holy shit.
they really should. Fyro, it's just mainly because Fyro always has his Elytra in a position that it is convenient to swap to.
Yeah.
Like, right
Yeah,
now
he's
it's in his
just
hot
good.
bar, and sometimes he puts it in his offhand.
Yeah. Yeah,
All he has
offhand.
to do is use a
Elytra is
keybind to put it up there.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like Fyro is kind of unsure about where,
His third guy is.
yeah.
Also, he needs to make sure that only the Wizard Skeleton is in range when the guy blows up. Unless it's
Yeah.
like spiders.
There are
and
a lot
shit,
more
but-
mobs.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Hello.
it's Nice.
Hopefully
So
this
make sure-
regular
Oh!
creeper doesn't...
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
I saw that coming.
Yeah, there is another Wither Skeleton over here though, fortunately.
Nice.
But this again is going to be basically restarting the traveling that Fire has done already.
Hello, Rain.
So has he found
How are you?
Today yet?
Is it cool if I abbreviate your name to
The
Rain?
charge
Is there a better
creeper,
name?
I didn't see it, but...
In Out of the Rain, how many syllables is that? 1, 2, 3.
It looks like, oh, this is really risky.
5? 5
Fire
syllables is too
changing
many
the hard
syllables
difficulty here to
for a
get
name.
phantoms
Too many.
since it is nighttime.
I can't even count the high.
But
Range good? Okay.
luring a Wither
Perfect.
Skeleton while about to go...
While getting phantoms, yeah.
Yeah.
You have achieved frequent AA chatter status,
Creeper on hard mode. This
so that you get a shortened
very
name.
risky, if for some reason that shield does not work,
Only
that is
the
definitely a death.
most
Here is
chattiest
the
AA
last
chatters
guy.
get a shortened name.
Okay, nice. So, very quick 3 skulls. I think like much better.
Fyro
than
doesn't
the
use bow here. I don't understand, man. I love bow for this.
Reverse and
Okay, he gets it.
love to see
I
it.
think bow is so much easier for this
Yeah, I
strategy.
do think it's funny that I think Automat and
Oh.
Pyro have been doing skulls at about the same time, but Automat is already done,
Yeah.
and Pyro is
Automat
also done right now, so...
Yeah,
I
Automat
think
started.
it-
Automat
I
started
think-
after, I think.
Okay.
Oh, we got 2 minutes
Yeah, I was
before we
about to
start.
say, I think more may need to be... Wait,
So I'm gonna
Automat
go into
started
the group
after
speed
two?
running thing and
I think he did. I think
in a little
his
bit and set up.
score rates were just better.
Probably just do
we
most of
will
this
have
through
to
my
look
stream,
into
but
that later and to see,
I'm
how
starting,
long it has
so I need 2
taken,
minutes.
But, Automat also right now preparing for Uneasy Alliance. Very nice to see. Fyro already has attempted Uneasy Alliance, but did not get the advancement, unfortunately. There was just some
Oh.
wacky terrain and some weird timing that stopped it from happening. Oh, good save by Automat. Realized that he has not damaged the gas ahead of time.
Pre damage is for casuals.
Yeah,
Real-
honestly, I agree. After getting my timing right, I don't
True,
really
big
need
true.
free damage, and I'm not joking.
I'm not even kidding. Like when I started doing uneasy, I was raging a lot, and I could never get it, even with pre damage. And then this one time, I think it was in RSG as well. I tried it without pre. Well, I forgot to do pre damage, and I
Still
did
got
single. I did single TNT and I still got it, and
Yeah.
like people were like, I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh yeah, it's definitely possible. It's just the
Yeah, like
You need the
pre-damage
bash
helps on rare occasions, but for the majority of times,
need
it's
the-
either gonna deal
you actually need less than the max damage. You just need it to where the
full
gas
damage or
doesn't,
1 damage, you know? Like it's either gonna deal full or
out
0,
of
so
range, because it definitely can get out of range.
if you
very
just
easily
mistime
if
it,
you
like pre-damage doesn't
time
even
it
help.
Slightly wrong. I mean, that gas is gonna go up like a balloon.
Okay. It sucks that there's a not very frightening match right now. Because I think a lot of people watching that would want to watch this as well. Let's go to group speedrunning. You don't have permission to speak in this channel. Oh. I think this is where I want to be. Okay, there is a 50% chance that screen share does not work. So let's see. Start virtual webcam. Virtual webcam has been started. Share your video. Nope. Dude, is it? Hello? This is so stupid. I hate this garbage, bro. Come on. All right. Turn off camera. All right, let's do this, this, this. One more time. One more time. Oh, it's the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. I don't think it's gonna work. Hi, Raul. Hello. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. This is so lame. Thank you for the raid, Raul. We're doing a 2 hours of AA discussion, basically. Yeah, this is so lame. I have to share my whole screen. This is so lame. This is so lame. Okay, well, that's dumb. This is going to be difficult because now my scene changes in OBS are not going to be transferred to the Discord. And I also can't talk in here, so I don't know what I am supposed to do. Where is the group speedrunning no mic? This would be way easier if it was just through my stream, because then everyone could chat and see the same things. But doing it through Discord, I have to set up 2 different scenes basically, and I can't unmute in this channel. They told me to go to this one. Should I just tell everyone to go to my stream, or like what? What should we do? I was told to join this one, but they can't hear me in Discord, so. Dink donk, dink donk. All right, well, welcome everyone that is viewing the stream. And if you guys are viewing the stream and you're in the Discord call, hello. Pog, Akranar, hello, hello. I mean, it would be easiest to do just on stream because then I have one scene. OBS and Streamlabs have different screen sharing compatibilities with Discord. and I have different stream keys, so it makes it incredibly complicated, and I have to use different ones. And so Streamlabs I need to use right now. Oh, hello, I've been unmuted. Hello. Okay, thank you. Cool. Okay, hello. So here's the thing. I see a bunch of people in Discord. Hello. Hi, how are you? So I'm doing this on my live stream as well. The benefit of my live stream is I have the chat easily readable. I can control different audio sources, and my mic isn't garbage. The downside with Discord is it doesn't have audio control on mic, so I sound worse. And I can't screen share my OBS because of Streamlabs is dumb, and Discord is also dumb. So together they're big dumb. So if you guys want to watch through my stream, you guys probably know the audio quality and the video is going to be better, but I will just be talking here anyway. So you guys can do whatever. I'll try to keep an eye on both chats, so that any questions I can answer from both. But for the next 2 hours, we're going to go through all advancements. We're going to talk about so much. So this is the community weekend, so there's been a lot of people that have done discussions. Akranar already did 2, I believe. Doipingu I saw doing 1. Oliver did 1 on AA. So this is going to be the advanced version of all advancements. So I'm going to assume that everyone has a baseline understanding of all the advancements, the names of most techniques, and we're going to go through like some really wacky stuff. I'm not going to talk about just generic, like, the route in general. We're going to get very specific. I'm going to go over each part of the run. So I'm going to show a recording of a speed run start to finish. We're going to talk about resetting, overworld, nether and end fights. We're going to talk about each like technique, and I'm going to go over kind of I'm going to break it up into 3 types of kind of times that you're going for in an AA run. I'm going to talk about what you want in a sub 7 hour type run, which is for beginners. If you're kind of starting out, if you're in your first run through first 5 runs, you should be looking to get something like a sub 7 hour run. If you're more experienced and you're intermediate, you're going for a sub 5 type run. You know your stuff. It's not easy to get a sub 5 type run. You need to hit the RNG and you need to know everything that you're doing. And then lastly, probably the most exciting part is I'm going to be talking about sub 4, sub 3 type runs. Sub 3 hour run is something that will happen eventually. It's very, very difficult to do, but in theory, the sub 3 hour AA run is possible, and I'm fairly sure it will happen. So we're going to talk about crazy stuff that you need to pull off for a sub 3 RSG AA run. So if you are not really familiar with all advancements, this is probably going to be too much. Akranar and I didn't see much of Oliver's, but they have also talked about the general route of AA, so you can go back in their channels and watch their overviews. But if you are here and you're curious about crossbow cycle, Shulker mechanics, Iron Golem farm possibilities, if you can and should enchant gold tools for an entire AA run, exact how do we get here mechanics, I'll go over all of those. So we're gonna get advanced. Cool. Okay, Iron Golem propaganda. Yep, I knew. As soon as he mentioned Iron Golem farm, oh my god. I also have webcam up on my stream, but not on Discord because there's too many things going on Discord. So let's start. Where to start? Where's the best place to start? I guess let's talk about timings first, and then we'll get back to timings later. I want to briefly show this first. So screen share, you can see this. On stream, they need to see this. Bam. Okay, let's go to Excel sheets right away. So both stream and Discord should be able to see this. So if you're looking for a sub 7 type run, beginner type things, there's a lot of different areas in the run where you can take a bunch of time. Your any percent can take an hour. It's not a big deal. For a sub 5 type run, you start needing to do things pretty efficiently. To hit sub 5, you can't spend too much time looking for biomes. For sub 3, you have no time. You have no time to make a single mistake in the entire run. And here are general splits that I came up with a couple days ago. So these are rounded, they're approximate. It's really hard to divvy up the AA run into exact splits. But in general, if you think, I don't know if a sub 3 AA run is possible, hopefully this will kind of convince you that it is. And this is what we're looking at accomplishing. The any percent split, which includes Overworld, Nether, and Endfight, should be roughly 20 minutes. That's not too much of an ask, but you can start to see with these example runs. I have Feinberg's first sub 4. This is 333, Feinberg's run. This is my AAFSG PB, 336. So this run includes Guaranteed Thunder and Biomes, but not necessarily anything is too broken in the filter. So it's close to RSG. You just have more guaranteed runs per day than RSG. And this is Feinberg's most recent 329. And this is fine, I think, a couple days ago in the AA tourney against Hofik. He hit basically an exact 3-hour run, so this is a really good example for what a model 3-hour run would look like. You could tell a 20-minute any percent split is pretty reasonable, we think. Many people have done that before, but a lot of times at AA runs, it tends to be much worse because you hit like a mending notch apple and you want to force the seed. So that's where a lot of the time loss happens in these model really fast runs, is actually just in the 80% run, because the Nether and the end just usually aren't that good. The end includes end ship looting, as many Elytras as you want, and Shulker transport. Typically people hit around 15 minutes. The enchanting split is pretty tough to hit 5 minutes. It depends what enchantments you have and books you have already. But 5 minutes is pretty reasonable. In a sub 7 and a sub 5 run, I'll talk about this later, but I actually love trading. I love trading. Every single of my I know Akranar said never trade, it sucks. But every one of my sub 5 runs, I traded for mending channeling, whatever I didn't have. I have no problem with that. Unfortunately, for a sub 3 run, you cannot trade. There is no time. You do not have 5 minutes to spare. Sometimes you reroll librarians, it takes you 5 to 10 minutes, your run is already dead. So you cannot trade at all in a sub 3 run. There's a surprising amount of stuff you have to do on the land. And this is the primary reason why a sub 230, I don't think we're ever going to see. In theory, in SSG, a sub 230, sub 2 hour run is possible, but in RSG, there are simply too many things to do on land. Your land split is going to take you about 60 minutes, even in best case scenario. Even in a scouted run where you know everything, still, and if you're Feinberg, it's still going to take you an hour. So one of the biggest surprises, though, is probably how quick the Ocean and Nether are in top runs. Yeah, resetting for sub 3 is not going to be fun, and tech is pretty close to being fully developed. I would consider, any percent took 1 to 2 years to have what I would consider fully developed tech. If you look at a 116 run from, when 116 came out to where it is today, in terms of just tech and overall strategy, I'd say it's 99% finished. There'll still be little things that'll come out here and there, but as far as barriers, sub 10 is the last barrier, and any percent 116 we'll get to. We're not going to see a sub 5. I mean, you could see sub 9 and maybe sub 8 eventually, but I don't think drastic tech is going to come out that's going to change it. AA, I would say, is about 75%, 80% done with tech, and that has happened in the last 2 months. The majority of that has happened in the last 2 months. So all advancements is almost done. There's a couple more things that could change and that probably will change, but not too much. So sub 3 is tough, and it's pretty much the perfect run. But Ocean and Nether really don't take very long in these. You would be surprised. I thought, an hour or more probably with these combined, but top runs, the biggest similarity in top runs is the speed at which you get shells in Trident. There really isn't a top run where shells are really slow. Shells, if you get rolled, can take an hour. Shells, if you high roll, can take 15 minutes. So getting fast shells is why these ocean splits are 20 to 30 minutes long. And you can tell in tournament when the shell rates are doubled and trident drop rates are essentially 5 times as strong, you can tell just how much of an impact this has. 12 minutes for all monuments, shells, and tridents is an insane ocean split. Shells are a huge deal. The rest of it, skulls, debris, how do we get here set up and how do we get here? Pretty standard amounts of times for those things. You do have to high roll a bit for skulls and debris, but in general, I hope this kind of shows you what we're looking at for a sub 3 hour run. And a lot of the tech I'm going to be talking about that's come out, or I think will come out, is mainly for this, is to break this 3 hour barrier and to have a substantial time save. We'll talk about micro time saves, but the majority of this is going to be crazy new stuff. So let's just start looking around here. Let me get rid of this. Put this over here. And then let's show a run. Is it this one? No. This one? Man, there's so many things I have. Let's just start off with this one, I guess. Let's start off with this one. So, resetting. Akronar already talked about this previously, but reset efficiency for a sub 7 or sub 5 run. Sub 7 runs. Oh, I should put this up here. Let's do that. So if you're starting off and you have between your first and fifth run in AA, you should be looking for a desert temple, a village, and an ocean for comfort. Those are things that are just simply going to help out your run in general, give you enough gunpowder for rockets, safety in a run. If you're looking for a sub 5 run, you should be more and more open to playing everything. Once you have run the category a few more times, you should be thinking about every little thing that is going to save you time in the long run. People make fun of seeing, you know, when I see 3 donkeys off spawn and a beehive, people make fun of saying, oh, well, I mean, who cares? But I cannot tell you how many minutes I've wasted looking for donkeys, how many minutes I've had to pyrate for beehives sometimes. Sometimes they're fast, sometimes they're not. It's an average couple minute time save. If you have donkeys, if you have beehives, if you have a village at spawn, if you have a second temple, all of those things should be in your mind for reset efficiency for sub 5 type runs. If you see rare biomes, I know most people are not on the rare biome train. The reason why rare biomes off spawn are not that important is if, imagine a hypothetical, you spawn in a world with an infinite elytra and rockets, and you just take off in one direction. How long on average is it going to take you to find your first rare biome? Let's say 5 minutes. You're just flying in a straight line, 5 minutes to find the first rare biome. How long is it going to take you on average to find the second rare biome? Maybe 7.5 minutes. The reason it's longer is because there's potential duplicates. If your first rare biome is a mesa, maybe your second rare biome every once in a while you also find a mesa, and so you have to keep traveling to find that other biome. So first rare biome, 5 minutes, second rare biome, 7.5 minutes, and it keeps going up from there. Your third rare biome may take you 10 minutes, your fourth may take you 15, and your fifth may take you 25, 30 minutes to find that last rare biome, because now you're only looking for 1 out of the 5. So if you have a single rare biome at spawn, it's an average of maybe 5 minute time save, but if you find another one of those rare biomes, then it wasn't a time save at all. Now you've already found that rare biome in your run, so it didn't really matter. So a single rare biome off spawn, not a big deal. 2 rare biomes off spawn, now I would consider forcing a seed, because now we're talking about maybe 7.5 minute time save, and it's likely you're not going to find both of those rare biomes throughout the rest of the run. So 2 rare biomes off spawn is pretty significant. 3 rare biomes off spawn, if you're going for sub 5 attempts, I heavily recommend you force that seed. That is a substantial time save, because it is very unlikely you're going to find all 3 of those rare biomes throughout the rest of the run. So that is a significant time save. I would force that run. Even if there's no desert temple, you should be an experienced runner, kill a couple creepers, use 9 rockets to get through the end and your initial overworld, try to find a temple to get more gunpowder, and just force it. It's a significant time save. If you find 4 to 5 rare biomes off spawn, first of all, you're injecting seeds, because I've tried seed finding for 4 or 5 rare biomes visible off spawn, and that is impossible. But if you find 4 or 5 rare biomes off spawn, just force the seed. Oh, just force it. I mean, it's crazy. So rare biomes, if you see 1, whatever. If you see 4, it's crazy. You know, take that into consideration. But everything else that you've gained from experience that you see off spawn should factor in. And just because you don't have a desert temple doesn't mean you shouldn't play the seed. Now, going back to a sub 3 reset efficiency, we go back to the sub 7 requirements. You need a temple, you need an ocean off spawn. Reason being is that you should be resetting heavily for a world record type run, and a desert temple off spawn gives you the security that you can play your initial ocean split with rockets, not just the end. And also you have an ocean off spawn so you can get those shells and tridents. If 1 hour into the run or 1 hour 20 into the run you don't have any shells, it's just a reset. So the sub 7 and sub 3 requirements are actually pretty much the same, but for different reasons. Sub 3, you need the security, because if you don't have that security of having a good start, you're just wasting your reset efficiency and time. So those are reset requirements. Okay, now we can get into the fun stuff. Now we can get into super fun stuff. I'm going to, I think, just skip through this run, and we're probably going to get straight to the end fight. I think that's the first thing I want to talk about. The overworld is, you know how to route an overworld, you know how to do a bastion, a fortress, it's whatever. I want to talk about, we'll get into crossbow cycle, because crossbow cycle is sick and everyone should be using it. If you're not using crossbow cycle and you're not a believer, you are wrong. You probably also think there are more wheels in the world than doors, so you're double wrong. Start using crossbow in a 1 cycle. Just do it. I've probably upset so many people, but you guys can't talk in Discord, so get dunked on, wheel believers. Anyway, this specific run I want to talk about after we get through crossbow cycle. I see people chatting now. Okay, after we get through crossbow cycle, we're going to talk about the 3 different types of enchanting: early enchanting, late enchanting, and double enchanting. And then we're going to talk about mending skip, lapis ore skip, and looting skip. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about with the early game after you get back from the end, and enchanting. And the reason I'm saying that now is because this specific run is a really good example of something that's not totally normal. Oh, I wonder if you guys can hear this on Discord. I think stream can hear this. That's interesting. So the reason I bring up this run, and I got this run yesterday, 2 days ago, I was just playing this offline, is because I got a looting 3 book to start. And this applies to if you get a looting 3 sword or a looting 2 sword even in the end, it means your enchanting can be different if you're going for a crazy fast run. So there's a looting 3 in this first temple. Which is why I want to showcase this run over other ones. Okay. So let's get to crossbow cycle here. Standard bastion route. You guys all know how to do bastion, fortress, double travel, calculators, you I spy, whatever. I guess one point to make is, if you are still looking for 2 libraries in a stronghold, regardless of what skill level you are, familiarity with AA, you're playing the strongholds wrong. Find a single library and then find the importer room and go. If you find 2 libraries before you get to the importer room, sure, you can use it. The only reason you need a second library is because your copium that there's a channeling or mending book in that library. There isn't. I know you saw someone's PB have mending and channeling in the second library that one time. There are 100 different enchanted books in this game. You are not going to find channeling mending in the second library. You're just not. The second library could be a single story. The second library might not exist. It's not a guarantee. What about low paper from first library? Okay, that's fair. If you have less than 3 paper, sure. It's incredibly unlikely to get less than 3 paper. If you have 3 paper and at least 3 gunpowder, that gives you 9 rockets. You can use a couple in the end, and then a couple to get to sugarcane or temple in the overworld. Sugarcane should be prevalent based on your starting desert. And so even if you have 9 rockets, that should be plenty to get to the overworld and harvest some more sugarcane. So if you get 0 paper, go to the second library. Sure. What's up, Tafel? Yeah, I commentated earlier. That was fun. It was a fun match. So get 1 library, get to the end portal room, and go. There isn't a good book in the second library. The second library might not even exist. Why are some strongholds smaller than others? I mean, that's a good point. That leads to why the second library might not even exist, or either library might not even exist. Strongholds generate, it's just a random number generator, and it starts procedurally. So every room that it generates off of the starter staircase has a chance to generate a certain room after that, or a certain chance to just end. And the entire process only has a chance to completely end once the end portal room is generated. So if the stronghold just generates from starter 6 rooms and then end portal room, and then every other random number in every other branch is a 0 and it doesn't generate one, that's it. The stronghold is just 7 rooms. Like, that's it. So that doesn't mean that there has to be a second library. Once both libraries have been generated, those rooms are pulled out of the distribution that the random number generator can pull from, so it can't make any more libraries. But there's not a guarantee. There's up to 4 altar chests that can have pearls and iron and stuff in it. There's up to 4 4-way rooms with the top planks that have food chests, which can also have enchanted books. And there's numbers of every room that can possibly generate. But yeah, 1 portal room max and 2 libraries max. So don't look for the second library. You're just wasting your time. That's kind of an old meta idea. Okay, so there's a couple different theories you should be doing in your end fights. Feinberg likes to do north-south weighting and not crossbow cycle. The north-south weighting is okay and it's viable, but not doing crossbow cycle is an absolute misplay, and Feinberg, he's too busy rolling in a bunch of money from his subathon to learn or know that crossbow cycle is superior, so it's fine. He lost 3 minutes in one of his insane PBs because he had to go back and kill the dragon. You know, Feinberg makes mistakes. It happens. One day he'll learn what crossbow cycle is and he'll do it. And everyone will be like, oh my God, you came up. Anyway, so you could do north-south weight. I like to do automat, half bow or full bow, depending on where the cages are. If the cages are conveniently close to the spawn, I'll take out 1 or 2. If the cages are on the sides, north-south, I'll pearl and destroy them last. If the cages are in awkward spots or in the back, then I just I don't even take them out and I just do half bow and assume that I'm gonna successfully do the 1 cycle. Yes, we'll get to that, Pingu, but it is possible, but there's still an advantage. Here is something you can also do. The vast majority of the time, I actually just do 9 lives in the Bastion because I can free up 1 inventory slot for glowstone. In this run, I only got like 20 glowstone. You need 28 total. So I actually picked up some glowstone after the fortress so that I could do 9 lives in the end. So you can also do 9 lives here in the end, charge it 4 times, make sure you don't right click again, and then you can use the anchor not only for 9 lives but also as an explosive. So then you pillar up. If you do this a lot, you should be very, very accurate with your bow shots. Successfully hitting bow shots on the ground is pretty difficult. I'm like 30% success rate. I'm not missing these shots from up here. This is easy. If you practice this, this is really easy. It might look impressive to hit like 100% of these shots. It's not impressive. This is so easy. I hit literally every single shot right there. If you do this, the dragon, if you pillar up too high, can hit you off, but trust me, this is kind of easy mode. Anyone can do this. Okay, here's crossbow cycle. You load up your crossbow, and you what you want to do is have your crossbow in the offhand loaded. You do 3 explosions first, crossbow the dragon's head, and then the last 2 explosions. You can still do 2 explosions at the end, and the crossbow damage will count as a damage for free the end advancement. So in this case, I have an anchor, so I hit 1, 2, 3, and right here, you want to hit the dragon's head with the crossbow exactly in between the 2 bed explosions. If you do it too early or too late, the dragon has a higher chance of changing its height. The specific mechanics around this are the dragon is coded where if it's hit with an arrow, it randomly changes its Y height up or down randomly. I don't know why it's random. It can either go up or down. If it goes up, you're totally fine. If it goes down, sometimes it can break the bed. But if you hit it correctly, that's going to happen. So you just want to do exactly in between the last explosions. Once you hit the crossbow, you still have 2 explosives to do it, and you'll still get the achievement. So it's pretty simple. If the dragon does go down and break the bed, you should still be totally fine because you can axe it if you've done enough damage. The advantage to this, even if it breaks the bed, crossbow cycle is still okay, because you're never going to accidentally miss free the end and have to take a 3-minute time loss to kill a dragon again. Does it have to be the small head hitbox, or can it be the larger one? By head hitbox, I mean this. I hope everyone can see that. This large one. You can hit it technically anywhere, but when the dragon's rotating and after it's taken damage, these hitboxes become... like, what's the word for it? Not intangible, but they become partially not interactable. It's really dumb. So the large head is guaranteed you can always hit this with a crossbow. The bodies are not guaranteed you can always hit them. So that's why I always hit the head. It's just more guaranteed. I've seen people hit the body though, but that's why I move my cursor over there, because it always hits. 0 cycle crossbow is optimal, and if you want to do that in your runs, great. You are more of a Giga Chad than any of us. Yeah, hitting it in the body also has a different, I don't know. I've always hit it in the head and been fine. So that's crossbow cycle. Shulker transport. So there's a couple different ways to do how do we get here. At one point in time, transporting a dolphin to the end and doing end how do we get here was actually more efficient than transporting the shulker to the overworld. Now at this point, with efficient shulker transport through shulker yeet, I think it's probably optimal every single run to transport the shulker to the overworld. So we're always going to do shulker yeet. People have different opinions of when to do this. I know Wet Sock Boy, Fine, maybe Doi Pinku? I'm not sure exactly which runners, but I know Fine, Wet Sock Boy will always try to prioritize sending the shulker to the end early, when you first visited the end. Unrelated question, what happens if you blow up a bed next to a prime TNT? I don't know. Are you talking about in terms of damage source? I'm not sure. But I have a very different opinion. So the overall route in all advancements, most of your runs are going to die to Biomes and Thunder. That's the first tier of runs dying, is Biomes and Thunder. The next tier is usually not finding a Notch Apple, slow shells, Trident, slow Wither Skull rate, stuff like that. But the primary cause of losing runs is Biomes and Thunder, which is why I like to prioritize guaranteeing you have a Channeling Trident as early in the run as possible. Because if you get Thunder at 30 minutes or 50 minutes and you don't have a Channeling Trident, but you get it 5 minutes later, you're going to feel pretty bad. So personally, I like not wasting any time at all transporting the shulker to the overworld in the beginning because time later in the run is less valuable than time earlier in the run. I want my time earlier in the run because getting a channeling trident earlier in the run is more valuable. I can upload this as a video, yeah. So my priority is getting back to the overworld as soon as possible. So you'll see what I do here is I loot the end. I think I loot 2 end chips right here because they're really, really good. And I'm gone. So I prioritize leaving the end so early. It is 34 minutes. I only have diamond boots, helmet, diamond chest plate. I have a diamond, good enough diamond pick and a diamond sword. I only have 7 diamonds. I don't have enough for diamond pants, diamond axe, diamond shovel, diamond hoe, and 2 for the enchanting table. I just do not have enough, and I don't care. I need that channeling trident as early as possible. Now, you could definitely search for more end cities and get more elytras, which will help with the mending skip idea, but I prioritize getting back early. Also, you notice in my inventory, if I were to do shulker transport early, how many blocks do I have? Of course, I've chucked some blocks out of my inventory because I'm not doing shulker transport early, but I've got 42 blocks of soul sand, which is kind of awkward because it's lower down. You can't actually boat over soul sand. It's slow. You can't boat from soul sand to a normal block in the end gateway because it's lower than a normal block. So you don't have the blocks. You don't have the rockets. The elytra durability is going to be worse because you don't have them breaking 3. To me, there are so many more reasons to just leave the end and come back. If you have a close end city to your spawn, you can always come back and do shulker transport later. There's a different argument to be made if your end city is far. What's up, Oliver? Thank you for the raid. Hello, welcome. Who did win? Wait, it's over already? Oh, did Fyro die in lava and it's over? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go back and watch. Welcome, everyone. We are doing an all advancements 116 advanced discussion on the community Discord. I am screen sharing and talking in the community Discord right now. You can watch and ask questions in there, but I'm also live streaming this with my cam and better audio video quality on my stream. So you can stay here and ask questions there as well. I'm watching both. Oh, sorry, Fyro. Sorry for calling you out. That's fine. We don't have time to dwell on the past. We're talking about the future. Welcome, everyone. For those of you that weren't here at the start, we are not talking about the all advancements route in terms of basic routing. We're talking about advanced strategies. So we're talking mending skip, lapis ore skip, which Fyro has actually been theory crafting, which I think is going to become meta. So I'm going to talk about that. Looting skip, which I think is something that'll happen in the future. That's pretty new. Gold tools, iron golem farms, how do we get here, setups and mechanics, a lot of stuff. So if you're new to AA, this is going to be a little too much, but if you're wondering how runners are going to break that sub 3 barrier eventually, we'll talk about all those crazy things. So yeah, so I was just talking about shulker transport. A lot of runners like to do. Oh, Automat's rating too. Hi, Automat. Hello, welcome. I just did a whole spiel, but welcome everyone from Automat. We're doing an all advancements advanced discussion, and right now we're talking about shulker transport. So, Feinberg, Wetsock Boy, a lot of other AA runners prefer to do the shulker transport first, which gives you more the advantages are it gives you more flexibility later in the run. You can do the wither in the overworld and still have a shulker there ready to go. You don't have to worry about the shulker later, but I think there's too many disadvantages. The advantages of just leaving the end, as long as you have a close enough end city to a gateway, is that you can do wither in the end, which I believe is a time save. You will have more blocks when you come back. Your elytra will be enchanted with unbreaking, so you will lose less durability. You will have more armor. Everything will be more comfortable in your inventory than it is right now. If I had to do shulker transport right now, I'm working with 15 end stone purple blocks and 42 soul sand. And my Elytra is unenchanted. And if I make any mistakes, it's just going to be slow. I could also be missing Thunder by a couple minutes, which I don't want to do. So I think there are far more advantages in waiting to do Shulker Transport for later and just worrying about your Trident and channeling early on. So that's my take. If your only end city is like 1k, 2k blocks away, and there's an end gate right on it, then yes, you have a time loss later in the run. So you could consider that as better to do Shulker Transport earlier. But if you have a ship which is close to your starting gateway, like right here, like this is very close, there is no time loss coming back to the outer end and transporting the Shulker. There is none. This end gateway is right here. If anyone's considering this a time loss, you're being silly. It's right there. So coming back and doing it later is fine. Yeah, Skelly, we will talk about Iron Farm as well. We'll talk about some advanced stuff. We'll do Iron Golem Farm stuff. Okay, so, but first, we're going to talk about enchanting and skips. There are 3 different types of enchanting styles. Early enchanting, late enchanting, and double enchanting. Early enchanting has been meta for a long time. Recently, double enchanting and late enchanting are getting more and more popular because we need drastic time saves. What I mean by early enchanting is you get all your bookshelves, get all your lapis, do every enchant right after the end, and you're done. That means I want a guaranteed first enchant looting on my sword. I want the water enchants, Respiration, Aqua Affinity, and Depth Strider to help speed up my monument and shell farming. I want on at least 1 Unbreaking 3 on an Elytra, maybe 2 for multiple Elytras if you're doing a mending skip. I want Enchanted Axe, Pick, and Shovel. And I want Piercing 4 and Silk Touch. The reason you would do something different is in case you have some of those things or all of those things already. Looting 3 and Mending or Unbreaking 3 gives you the option of doing a partial skip, because then that means you can get a more reliable enchant for your Trident. You only need 1 Unbreaking 3 book, but 2 allows you to be more flexible. 2 Unbreaking 3 books means that you can enchant another Elytra with Unbreaking 3 and repair that so that the anvil cost is lower. If you only have 1 Elytra and you're just repairing your Elytra with Phantom Membranes, you can actually disenchant the Elytra on a grindstone, reapply Unbreaking 3, and that disenchanting the Elytra will remove the anvil penalty. So if it's costing you in a longer run like 16 levels to repair your Elytra and you don't have that much, disenchant it in a grindstone, apply Unbreaking 3, and then it'll only cost you 3 levels. Yeah, so a second Unbreaking 3 book isn't necessary, but if you roll it, you could keep it if you have the slot. Even if you have 1 Elytra, it will still work. So yeah. So why would you enchant later, or why would you double enchant? This is an example of a double enchanting run that I'm going to show you that worked out very, very well. The reason you would do later enchant, which means you completely skip enchanting everything. You're not getting your water enchants unless you already have them. You're not getting improved pick, axe, shovel. You're not getting an efficiency 3 hoe, which can help you get food really quickly and trade for emeralds really quickly. It's tough, but you can completely skip enchanting early if you have enough good stuff and you think you're going to hit a Trident early enough. So let's say you roll Unbreaking 3 and a Looting 3 sword in the end city. Pop that Unbreaking 3 on your Elytra, grab your Looting 3 sword, and go to the ocean, man. Get some temples, get some gunpowder, go to the ocean. If you can get a Trident quickly, your first enchant for your Trident will always be channeling. And then you could do all of your enchants after the Trident. Because you already had Looting 3 on Breaking 3, you have about 20 to 30 minutes of flight over the ocean before you have to be worried about your Elytra. And you already got Looting 3, so you don't need the Looting 3 first enchant. Now, it gets more complicated if you only have 1 of Looting 3 or Unbreaking 3. because then you could do what's called double enchanting. So in this case, I got a Looting 3 book. I've already applied it to my sword, but I don't have Unbreaking 3, which means I only have like 5 to 10 minutes of flying around in the ocean. Not enough time to get a trident. Really not enough time. If you super high roll, yeah, but not enough time. So here's the double enchanting setup. Get a bunch of trees. I get lapis here. I don't get very much lapis because I only hit 2 lapis ore, like a vein of 2, but I did have fortune, so I have like 20 lapis or something. I have 26 lapis. So your goal for double enchanting is I really just want looting and unbreaking on my elytra so that I can get a trident. Other benefits that would be really nice right now are the water enchants. So Aqua Affinity, Respiration, and Depth Strider, especially Respiration and Depth Strider. They are kind of luxury enchants, but they do drastically speed up your farming for shells. So don't discount the time save they allow you in getting shells and tridents, because you can move around faster underwater, you take less damage from getting hit, and you can stay underwater for longer so you can see more drowned and kill more drowned. So should you also be checking your other enchants you can get, or only focus on water-based enchants? It really depends on how much lapis you have. If you get a stack of lapis, then sure, you can kind of go crazy. You don't need respiration, but respiration is a definite time save. Because I've had no respiration and I've done drown farming, and I've low rolled shells and trident, and especially with drowned ocean ruins that have like 20 or 30 drowned, you got to go up and down for air like quite a bit. So respiration isn't like massive, but it does save you time. No respiration with the shield, possibly. Yeah, no Depth Strider with the shield is possible. Either way, if you have a stack of lapis, you can consider getting the extra enchantments. Enchanting your tools for efficiency, so you're faster there. Enchanting for Piercing 4 and enchanting for Silk Touch. But in this case, I have 26 lapis. I only got 26 lapis. I don't want to waste the time to go down and get more lapis, because I'm going to go to the ocean and get a trident here as long as I have Looting 3 Unbreaking. And I'm going to get some lapis from shipwrecks. And I can do what's called a lapis ore skip. Well, I'm calling it lapis ore skip, but it's something that Fyro has been talking about recently, and it's something I think should become meta, is getting the majority or all of your lapis from shipwrecks and cleric trades. If I have 26 lapis here and I spend all of it, and I need maybe 20 more total, maybe 16 more total, if I get 6 or 10 from a shipwreck, I could just go to a village and convert all of my emeralds with a cleric villager to lapis. You don't really need emeralds. If you're not training for channeling mending, you could just convert 1 emerald for 1 lapis. Sure, you have to get a bunch of redstone first, but not really that bad. So when we're trying to be really, really stingy for like a sub 3, sub 4 type run, be stingy with your enchanting when you're doing double enchanting. All I really need is Unbreaking. And the water enchant. The extra stuff is nice, and then I'm just gonna get more lapis later. Rain and thunder timing, yeah, let me do that after this. We'll do that right after this, actually. I'll type that in. That's a good one. I hadn't thought about. Okay, so this is a double enchanting example because I have Looting 3. So here I make my stuff. I think I get basic water enchants. I think I already have Silk Touch here, so it's not a big deal. Efficiency 3 hoe is just nice, but I don't need it. And I'm out. My enchanting start here is... When do I start? 4240, okay? My enchanting end is 4540, so it's 3 minutes. Yeah, we'll talk about new strats as well. So I'm only spending 3 minutes enchanting, which in total your enchanting split should take you 5 minutes if you're pretty fast. You could do 10 minutes if you want to get all of your enchantments and be comfortable and stuff. Even a sub 5 run, you could do 10-minute enchanting. That's totally fine. So only 3 minutes. We're just gonna ignore the dragon time. Oh no, that's a good point. That's a good point. Where do I set this up? This is actually important to touch on. Thank you for bringing this up. Okay. This is unironically important in my speedrun. I take extra time, about 10 to 15 seconds, to make a modern art sculpture using the dragon egg and the dragon head every run now. I am not joking. Do you know why? Do you know why I do this? Why do I take a 10 to 15 second time loss? I'm going for a sub 330. I'm trying to get an insanely cracked run. Do you know why I do this? If you're not having fun and doing something unique in your speedrun, stop playing all advancements. Go outside and do something fun, okay? If you don't have one thing that you do that's fun and different than someone else, start doing it now, okay? You know, some people like to play Pig Step somewhere in the run. Some people like to do Stone Pick last. The reason I don't do Stone Pick last is because that's someone else's thing. Eldon does Stone Pick last. That's not my thing. You know, you got to come up with something else. I make a cool, funny looking dragon sculpture, and then I look back at it and I think, that one's kind of shit. I'm going to make a better one next time. You know, it's just, you got to save the mental, and 10 to 15 seconds in a 3.5 hour speedrun. Like, look at that. That's actually a pretty good one. That's probably my favorite one, actually. That one's pretty sick. Maybe the top could be better, but you know what I'm saying? Do something. And if this is cool to you and you want to do this, go ahead, but come up with something unique that you do that no one else does. And someone's like, why do you do that? And you're like, I'm having fun, PogChamp, you know? Okay, that's the reason behind the sculpture. That's the only reason. Also, it's tall, so when I'm traveling around my spawn and I forget where I spawned, this is a spawn marker, so it does have a use. Also, if you open up pie chart, the dragon head does appear on pie chart, so you can actually find it. It is just a 10 to 15 second time loss, but it is a spawn marker, essentially. The dragon head being on pie has never come into play, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of funny. The dragon head does show up. Okay. So, finishing up this enchanting. So here's what happens after enchanting. I do some temples. I do some ocean. Where do I get the trident? I see a mushroom because it's AFSG, so of course it's FSG. Oh, and of course I get the first drowned trident drops a trident. If you don't get the first trident drop, stop playing AA. What are you doing? You're just bad. You're just bad at the video game. So obviously I get first drop trident. Skill issue, exactly. I go around and get some more shells, but now we'll get into the second part, and this is the double enchanting split here. Okay. Oh, what I've also done, what I should say, I think an advanced technique here is, let's talk about this. I think a lot of people, okay, for anyone in chat, do you think it's viable to have a gold axe and a gold shovel for the entire all advancement speedrun? Yes or no? If it's a maybe for you and you're not sure, then you could say, you don't have to say anything. You can say kind of, do you think it's viable to have a gold axe and a gold shovel for the entire AA run? No for axe, yes for shovel. A soft yes, no. Shovel will be, no, the gold shovels aren't in the end. It's just iron and diamond. Yes for axe, no for shovel. Axe is only viable if it has silk. You have a gold shovel already. It's true. The answer is yes. The answer is very much yes. Before I tried it, I would have been like a lot of you and said, maybe, I don't know. But now that I've tried it, absolutely 100% yes. I will show you a run where, oh my God, where is it? Chanting setup golden axe. It's this one. 141. Yeah, it's this one. So the reason you would actually do it, it's not just a meme. Fire, the question was, do you think having a gold axe and a gold shovel for an entire AA run is viable? And the answer is absolutely yes. I would have said maybe, I don't know first, but now that I've tried it, it's absolutely 100% yes. The reason you would enchant gold over something else, most of the time you're going to have plenty of diamonds. Sure, just make a diamond axe, enchant it with efficiency 4. It's really fast, whatever. But if you don't have Silk Touch, gold tools have a much higher enchant rate for Silk Touch compared to any other tool. So let's just go into a random world and test this. If we're getting into Silk Touch, it's only a 1% increase? No, it's much higher. There's no way it's only a 1% increase. No. It's not only visible enchants, but it's invisible enchants too. It's secondary enchants as well. So let's see. Which tool do you want Silk Touch in first? Silk Touch pick, Diamond Pick is annoying because a lot of things need stone. Vasher did some testing. I disagree with that, but we can do our own testing. Is it just visible that they tested? Either way, it's higher. Regardless of the exact number, it's higher. You do not... Is it going to show up in the live stream? I actually don't know. Let's do this. Okay, tell me if you guys can see my Minecraft in the Discord. I think so. Silk Touch on a Diamond Pick has a negative because if you're mining cobblestone, you can't make things out of stone, which is really stupid. Silk Touch Shovel, the only negative is for when you're mining dirt for blocks or something, which I typically do, the grass blocks will be different than the dirt underneath. And so it's a little awkward. Also, you can't get flint from gravel. So Silk Touch on a shovel has a negative. Silk Touch on a hoe actually only has positives because the hoe can be used on leaves and is actually a pretty effective block gathering tool. So if we do enchant Silk Touch, enchant efficiency 4, this is what I do now is people use different tools to get different blocks. Some people use wood or cobble. I like to use dirt because if I have an efficiency 4 shovel, this is pretty fast. Like, this is pretty good. That's a stack of blocks pretty dang fast. But you can see if you have Silk Touch, it's a little bit awkward because now you have grass blocks. That's the only downside. A hoe is only a benefit because when you get Silk Touch, you could potentially use it for these as your building block. It's a little bit slower, but you can see how I just got 40 leaves. They're also flammable, but Silk Touch has a nice benefit. The only other things you use Silk Touch or a hoe for are like nether trees and hay bales. So there's no difference in Silk Touch. So it's nice. The axe has a upside and a downside. A Silk Touch axe, if you're mining mushrooms in either the large mushrooms in the Dark Oak or the mushroom islands, they will not drop as mushrooms, they will drop as the blocks. So the axe is a little awkward. But the benefit of a Silk Touch axe is in this case, in this specific run that I'm showing right here, you can actually mine your bookshelves and do a double enchant and not have to recraft them. So that's the whole point behind a Silk Touch axe. And Silk Touch enchantability on a golden tool is higher than a regular tool. So a lot of the time tools will share the same enchant roll, but gold will typically be slightly different. So if I do gold axe, let's just do axe. Okay. So what's the first enchant for these? Efficiency 4, these are efficiency 4, these are efficiency 4. What I've seen is that typically the, let's do a grindstone actually. Typically the diamond and iron tools have the same offers, but sometimes the gold one is slightly different. Okay, this is Silk Touch on these already. This is Silk Touch. Is this one Silk Touch? It's efficiency. So gold is cheaper if you don't have the diamonds. You can use it on breaking, they're all the same. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Oh, efficiency 4. So I've noticed that Golden Axe usually has a slightly different offer than either of these variants. But also, if you're just... so if you see an Unbreaking 3 offer, let's say I'm going through and I see a tool with Unbreaking on it. Most of the time, all of the other tools that you have, whether it's a pick, shovel, hoe, etc., will also have an Unbreaking offer. So you won't want to use a tool for that enchant. So this is Unbreaking 3. On a Gold Axe, this is actually a viable, valuable enchant and has a decent chance to give you Silk Touch as a random roll and also efficiency. So this is an efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3 Golden Axe. And you might think, there's no way, T-Wags, there's no way this is going to last. Gold Axes have 32 durability. My Diamond Axes I use plenty, but I would argue if you're only using sword and you specifically don't use axe to kill any mobs throughout your whole run, which isn't that difficult, all you're using an axe for is mining some logs and breaking your crafting table. You very, very rarely use an axe. I did pretty much a whole run here. This is my run where I enchanted a golden axe, and in this case, I think I got Silk Touch. Did I do this? So I made a gold axe here on purpose because I did not have Silk Touch yet, and I'm experimenting to see how long a gold axe lasts. Also, you can repair. Okay, so here's a good example. I'm running out of enchants to use. I put a diamond pick in here because I need to enchant the diamond pick and the hoe, and they both have Unbreaking 3. I don't want Unbreaking 3 on the diamond pick and the diamond hoe, but it's fine on an Unbreaking on a golden axe. So I enchant and I get efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3. Now we'll fast forward later in the run. I am basically done with the run, except for shells. My gold axe has plenty of durability. Plenty. 60-70% durability. Unbreaking 3 extends the lifetime of tools by 300-ish% or something. So enchanting a gold tool in order to get faster mining and better Silk Touch odds is absolutely a viable play, and I think more people should do it. So Golden Axe has absolutely no issues lasting the entire run if you're stingy with it. Gold Shovel, you're going to be mining debris, so you're probably not going to last through the soul sand and gravel underneath. So I would probably say no for the Gold Shovel, but definitely for the Gold Axe. Yeah, Gold Axe I think is just a smart play. It's mainly just because if you have Unbreaking 3 that's an unwanted tool thing, it's just good with an axe. The axe doesn't really need efficiency. Gold Axe is already efficiency 0. Gold Axe is good. Yeah, and if you're stingy on diamonds, Gold Axe is absolutely good. Get Unbreaking 3 Gold Axe. It actually works. Okay. Where were we? Okay. So, back to... I'm getting too sidetracked here. Back to the double enchanting run. To remind you, in this run, I have enchanted a single time. I have... where was that? One right here. Okay, right here. I have Unbreaking 3 on my Elytra now. I have Looting 3 on my sword. I've only had 26 lapis. I am drinking seltzer, polar seltzer. It's a cranberry lime. Cranberry lime. Nice. I hated flavored seltzer water like 2-3 years ago. I hated it. It was garbage, but now I just drink it all the time. No sugar, better than water, easy clap. I've grown used to it now. Do axes and hoes have the same enchant tables? Not quite, but I think they're tools are always very, very similar, but I don't think they have the exact same. Okay, so in this double enchanting setup, I know I need to get a trident and then hope that I can roll for channeling later at some point in time. I do not have a gold Silk Touch axe in this run, although that would have been a huge benefit here, because you'll notice what I have to do is mine my bookshelves to move my enchanting setup some other place. So I'm mining all of my bookshelves with a regular diamond axe, which drops 3 books. That means I need more wood, which is kind of annoying. if you are still mining wood for your first enchanting setup and even for your second enchanting setup, you are living in the past. What is this, 1 day ago where we used to make gold axes and mine wood? No. We're living in today. We have new strats. It is, I'm being sarcastic because it is totally fine. What I used to do is coming back from end, I would make a single gold axe and I would use 32 logs. You need 23 logs for an enchanting setup, and that gives you enough logs for most of the rest of the run. Now, if you have a Savannah Village or a Dark Oak, absolutely do that. Absolutely use a single TNT in a Dark Oak or a Savannah Village will give you 40 to 60 logs. Way faster, way more free, only a single TNT. So I don't know why I haven't been doing this before, but I didn't see this Savannah Village for my first enchanting setup, but I see it for my second. If you're used to 114, you know which houses give you the most wood. I just happen to know that the Smoker House is one of the best. This is from Doi Pingu, actually. Doi Pingu actually researched a bunch of these different houses and how much wood they give you. The Smoker House not only gives you a smoker job block, but is also one of the highest wood outputs in the game. So for a single TNT, see how much do I get? Show the inventory. Show the inventory. Oh, okay. 33 regular logs here, which is 23 for another enchanting setup, and enough for the rest of the run. 10 for the rest of the run. This isn't a very good detonation. I probably could have gotten more, but I already did my first enchanting setup, so I don't need any more than that. But if you detonate 1 TNT in a good Savannah Village house or a good Dark Oak, that is a stack of logs, which is enough for 2 enchanting setups, and then you still have 20 for the rest of the run. So fast forward, I get my trident, I arrive at another village, I've done a good amount of stuff, I've done Mesa, I'm ready to enchant. So what I would do here is I would set up a smoker. If you don't have that many emeralds or lapis, you're gonna want to do a lapis ore skip, which requires you to get some lapis from shipwrecks and lapis from clerics. Now I already have half of my enchanting done, so I don't need that much lapis. I had 6 left over from the first enchanting, and I got 6 from a shipwreck. I only have 12. That's not that much. I'm probably gonna need around 20 to 30, which means I should convert these emeralds, which are pretty much useless in my inventory for the whole run, into lapis 1-to-1. You can see that I'm totally good on redstone already because I randomly got redstone, but if you don't have redstone, you could set up a cleric station and convert your emeralds to redstone and lapis. You only need about 10 redstone for the run, so you get extra. But you can see here I'm making my bookshelves from the wood that I blew up. And this is the exact, I have a video on this, but this is the exact bookshelf setup I use for bookshelf blocking. You can get more variety of trades if you block certain bookshelves with water and unblock them. So I won't go into that in too much detail. I have a video on it, but a lot of you are probably familiar with what bookshelf blocking is. And I'm just going to do all of my trading. So I already have my wheat trades done. So I'm just going to re-roll this smoker here and get a couple clerics going. You guys went over? Okay. So, villager mechanics are complicated. And I could talk for another hour on villager mechanics, but I only have 53 minutes to go over the rest of the run. So I'm not going to go over villager mechanics, but the gist of it is they get 1 restock on the first time they work when something is out. So this cleric just worked. He has another 30 seconds or so before he's going to restock again. I do not want him to only restock the redstone. I want him to restock the lapis. So it is critical I trade with him right away so that he restocks again. So I trade full lapis. Now the next time this cleric works, he's going to get lapis trade. And so trident on a channeling table is not super likely to get channeling first. It is, I believe, around 17% to get channeling either as a visible enchantment, which shows up here, or as a hidden enchantment. So that means if I click this, okay. So it's 17%. We didn't see it visibly, but it counts as a hidden enchantment. So if you have enough lapis and levels, the most efficient way to enchant the trident is just hitting the level 3 enchant over and over and over and over. And then if you don't get channeling, you just keep disenchanting it. If I don't see it, I would just do this over and over. The issue is we don't have infinite levels and lapis. So this one's visible. This is a really high roll test right here. The majority of the time, you're just not going to see channeling for, it's probably like 1 out of every 10 to 15. I think 1 out of every 10 probably enchants. 1 out of every 10 enchants, you will visibly see it. Wow! Just wow, I'm hitting channeling so many times. But if you don't see it and you don't have enough lapis and levels, you're going to just enchant a level 1 book and keep resetting your enchantments with a level 1 book until you visibly see the I forgot to take off the data pack, right? So damn, dude. Wow. So it's 17% for visible and hidden. I don't know what it is for visible, but apparently I'm 70% for visible and hidden. In my I don't have a data pack, but in this run I also get it. Trust me, I don't have a data pack. This is not normal. This is going to take you about 10 refreshes on average. I am not normally this lucky. So if you don't have that much to spare, usually you're just going to have to enchant a level 1 book. Is it worth it to bookshelf block for the level 1 books? So bookshelf blocking does a couple things. If you're saying, is it worth it to look at different book trades? No. Bookshelf blocking does 2 things. And I think Feinberg in his recent world record run didn't know this. I think he just literally didn't know this. So the first thing it does is it re-offers you certain trades. So you can see I have Aqua Affinity, Projectile Protection, Sharpness 4. If I put the water in this spot, this spot, this spot, or this spot, it's going to block 1, 2, 3, or 4 bookshelves from affecting the table sequentially, and I get different ones. I get Power 3, Projectile 2, and Aqua Affinity. So books, it's very useful to do this because you get substantially different offers, because there's so many different offers. There's 100 different enchantments in this game, so there's a lot of different offers you get. Tools and armor have very low amount of enchantments though, so often you will get the same. This is Fortune 3, Efficiency 2, Efficiency 1, Fortune 2, Efficiency 1, Efficiency 1. So bookshelf blocking for tools and armor is almost useless, and you should never do it because there's hardly any overlap. Books, I usually do like block this and then check my book for unbreaking, block this and then check my book for unbreaking, for instance. That's pretty much the only use. The second use is that it decreases the level requirement for the same enchantment. So I believe, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, is it the Pika J video that just came out? I haven't seen the entire run where Feinberg was doing this, but if I put a Trident in here and I get Unbreaking 3, there's so much overlap because the Tridents don't have that many enchantments, just like tools and armor, that most likely if I bookshelf block 1, 2, 3, or 4, I'm going to get the same enchantment, but it's going to be a lower level requirement. So Unbreaking 3 costs me 30 levels here, or the minimum level requirement is 30. Unbreaking 3, but now it only costs 29. Unbreaking 3, but it costs 26. Riptide 2 is now too low. But if he did it correctly in recent run, okay. Because I feel like Feinberg should know that. But if you see channeling and it's 30 right here, and you only have 29 levels, very, very likely, incredibly likely, if you block 1 bookshelf or mine it, you're going to also have channeling for 29. So those are the 2 Yeah, Quid. That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's incredibly likely if he sees channeling for 30, if you block one bookshelf, you'll see it for 29. I don't think there's any scenario where blocking one bookshelf would not offer channeling again. I don't think there's a scenario. It wouldn't go below 26, for example. Yeah. So the first two bookshelves, you're very, very likely to see channeling, but now you just have a lower level requirement. It costs the same amount of XP, lower level requirement. Yeah. Yeah, it's super useful to check. So anyway, because I thought Feinberg saw channeling for 30 with 15 bookshelves, and he had level 29. So all he had to do is break a single bookshelf, right? Or block one, and then he would have had it. I'm pretty sure, but he went to the Nether to mine quartz. So I don't know. I haven't seen the full run, but I think that's what happened. So yeah, so you could definitely do that. All right, so that's the gist. Golden Axe, Golden Shovel enchanting is good if you need Silk Touch. Golden Axe is useful for the whole run. Early, late, and double enchanting are really good. The other thing about mending is we can talk about the 3 different skips. I'll get to Rain and Thunder directly after this, so like 1 minute. But mending skip, lapis ore skip, and looting skip, I think are advanced techniques that are going to start to become more possible. We're all very familiar with mending skip. I think a couple months ago it wasn't very common. You would always trade for mending because it's just easier. Yeah, mending skip is becoming more basic actually, but I think for a sub 5 run, all of my sub 5 runs don't use mending skip. You could trade for mending and still have a really fast run. Trading splits are anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes based on how lucky you are with librarians. And for a sub 5 run, that's totally fine. So don't be afraid if you're going for sub 5 to do a mending trade every single run. Totally acceptable. If you're going for a sub 4 or sub 3, I think pretty much every run needs to have mending and channeling skip. It's just, you have to roll channeling on an enchanting table and you have to do mending skip. So people are familiar with mending skip. I won't even talk about that. You get multiple elytras. You can optionally get multiple Unbreaking 3 books. You repair your elytras with Phantom Membranes and other elytras. There's an anvil penalty cost. Know how it works. You'll be fine. Lapis ore skip is something that has been brought up mainly to me by Fyro. And now that I'm thinking about it more and talking about it more, I think it's going to become more and more commonplace for sub 4, sub 3 type runs, because Bolin Lapis ore is pretty solid. You'll get it most of the time. But sometimes it misses, and sometimes it's a couple minutes time loss. And actually, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this image. Feinberg's model 3-hour tourney run. You see how most of these splits, because it's a tournament and everything's really fast, are green? You see this enchanting split? Feinberg does this almost every single not very frightening tournament run. He just doesn't write down Lapis. He just forgets Lapis, okay? This 4 minutes, there's only 2 mistakes he made. There's only 2. He forgot Lapis, which costs 4 minutes. That's a huge time loss in a 3-hour run. That's actually crazy. And he didn't kill, he had to boat his shulker out of a mesa to the ocean, which cost him several minutes, because he doesn't do landlocked setups, which I think he should do, but that's another case. He only resets for ocean anyway, so he doesn't need to do landlocked setups. But like, this is a sore thumb sticking out here. If we can skip Lapis ore, that's actually substantial. So the other ways to get Lapis, each shipwreck chest has, 5 Lapis on average. It's not huge, but it's got a couple. And it has a good amount of emeralds. If you loot an ocean for 4 shipwrecks and 1 buried treasure, you should come out of the ocean with maybe 15 Lapis and 20 emeralds. Buried treasures have good emeralds too. With those 20 emeralds, you can trade with a cleric to get Lapis. It doesn't give you that much Lapis. That gives you maybe 30 to 40, but that helps you skip Lapis ore, and you're not really using those emeralds for anything else in a mending skip run. So I think complete Lapis ore skip, if you don't have to do enchanting first, is going to become more commonplace. If you get looting 3 and a breaking 3 and you go to the ocean, just get Lapis from shipwrecks and clerics, do a late enchanting, and you're totally fine. The last thing I want to talk about is looting skip. looting skip is something that I don't think anyone has done, and I don't think they're going to do it, but it is actually viable. Why would you do a looting skip? Okay. Pop quiz. There's 5 things that looting is valuable for in an AA run. Who can name the 5 things? Pop quiz. Looting only matters for 5 things. What are the 5? Because if you think about it, how much do they really matter? How much do each of the 5 things really matter? Trident is 1. Trident rounds. Wither skulls. Gunpowder for creepers. That's 3. That's true. Oh, rabbit too. I forgot rabbit. That's a 6th one. Rabbit, phantoms. Phantoms, rabbit, trident skulls, and creepers. Ghastiers, that's true. There are a few little ones. I would say the 6 main ones are creepers if you have to kill creepers. Most of the time we just get gunpowder from temples anyway. Trident is a big one. You really, really want Trident. Yeah, Enderman is one of the 6 I was counting. Most of the time, okay, I'm going to go through each one of them and tell you why you kind of want looting, and it's a good idea, but you can very easily do an entire run without looting. Creepers, if you have enough temples for gunpowder, you don't need to kill any creepers. Enderman, if you come out of the end with 16 pearls left over, and you do a single Enderman TNT without looting, that gives you about 12 to 16 Ender pearls. That's enough on average for 1 Endermite. Trident round might seem like a good idea because those are very important. On average, you have to kill about 9 Trident round for 1 Trident drop. With looting 3. Without looting, that number goes up to 11. Most PB runs, you're going to high roll at least 75th percentile or something. It's not going to take you that many. So most of the time with looting, you're going to kill about 5 to 6 Trident round in a PB type run where you get a little bit lucky. So without looting, that's about 7 to 8. That's not a huge difference. That's really not that big of a time loss. Rabbits, you'd have to kill... How many more rabbits on average? I don't know if you have to kill that many more rabbits on average. I don't know what the time loss would be for rabbits. A minute? 30 seconds? Maybe? Wither skulls is a huge deal because without looting, you have to kill 107, I think. With looting 3, you have to kill 55. But with thunder skulls, depending on the category you're running, thunder skulls make it so that you don't need looting at all. Especially for AAFSG runs, which I'm running more of, thunder is guaranteed every rain, so you have between 10 and 20 minutes every single rain to get thunder skulls done. So in an FSG run, absolutely looting skip is a lot more viable. In an RSG run, thunder can last 5 seconds. It's not always super viable. So yeah, thunder skulls is less viable for a looting skip in those runs. Hi, Anecdotes. Thank you for the raid. Party of 69. Nice. Nice. We're doing an AA discussion. I've got another 40 minutes or so. We're just talking about AA advanced topics and stuff. We've already gone over enchanting, mending skips, lapis skips. We're talking about looting skips right now. So my point to you is do not be afraid to branch out and try some of these advanced things if you're going for crazy fast runs. On a sub 4, sub 3 type run, you should be open to doing a looting skip, banking on thunder skulls. It only costs you another minute or so of trident rounds to get a trident on average. You don't have to kill creepers for gunpowder. Those should be in your temples. Rabbits are only a small time loss. Gas, you should be killing 2 anyway because of the reflect and uneasy alliance. So gas might take you a little bit longer. So there's some argument to never skip looting, but if you're first enchanting, channeling because you're doing a looting skip, rabbits can be skipped if you're doing beacon swap. Kind of. But all I'm saying is, you know, this is advanced stuff. It's possible. I don't think many people are going to do looting skip, but it's not out of the question for the future of crazy fast AA runs. If you really think about all the things you need for looting, it's actually not that much. Thunder Skulls is the biggest one. You would need to do Thunder Skulls. Without that, it's going to take you too long for your Wither Skull split. the last thing I'm going to get to is Rain and Thunder before I take a little bathroom break, and then we'll get to the last couple things, like how do we get here setups, Shulker Yeet. We'll still talk about those things. The way Rain and Thunder cycles work, at the start of your seed, the game rolls a random number between 0 minutes and 2.5 hours for both rain time and thunder time. Once it hits 0 on those timers, if it's rain, rain begins. If it's thunder and the thunder timer hits, it only actually thunders if it's currently raining. So if the thunder timer hits and it's not raining, the game will consider it thundering during the thunder timer, but you won't have any thunder actually happening because, 10 minutes, sorry. 10 minutes to 2.5 hours. That's the random timer for both rain and thunder timer. If thunder is going on, but there's no rain, the game is thundering, but it's not actually thundering because it's not raining out. The rain duration is a random number between 10 minutes and 20 minutes. The thunder duration is a random duration between 3 and 13 minutes. As soon as those individual timers end, they generate new 2 random numbers. So they generate a new timer between 10 minutes and 2.5 hours. The thunder does the same, and then they last between 10 and 20 minutes or 3 and 13 minutes. Only when they line up at the same time is when it's actually thundering. So that's why if it begins raining and it's already thundering, you don't know how long it's going to last, and you need to be very quick because the thunder timer could have already been going and is on its last minute. If it's raining and then it begins thundering, thunder has at least 3 minutes for sure, guaranteed, because the thunder timer is between 3 and 13 minutes. But rain could end 10 to 20. Okay. I am going to take a quick bathroom break, but I'll be back for the last 30-ish minutes of this to talk about other stuff. Should I put stuff up? We're going to talk about... Oh, let me put in my end fight. God, yes, dude. Put in my end fight. Is my end fight good in this one? Actually, I don't know. I hope I do crossbow cycle. Do I do crossbow cycle? I hope so. God, I hope this isn't embarrassing. I'm going to put up this end fight, which I hope I do crossbow cycle. I don't know. And then I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Oh, no shot, dude. Did I just nail that? Wait a minute. Oh, this is the same one I just showed. This is the same one I just showed. I thought it was the gold axe run, but yeah, that was the same one. Okay, never mind. You guys already saw that. But, you know, that's what I do every run. I could have showed you a different run, but it all is the same because I never miss. Crossbow cycle is the best, and it never misses, so just do it. Just learn it. If you're not doing crossbow cycle, you are playing the game incorrectly. Facts. Okay. So we have 30 minutes until I want to give Speed Nintendo the stage, because I think Speed Nintendo is coming up. So I think I just want to briefly mention All Advancements Bastion routes and the how do we get here setups, the 3 different how do we get here setups. And then I'll leave a couple seconds for questions. And then it'll be Speed Nintendo's turn. So I'm not going to talk about Shulker Yeet exact mechanics or reverse uneasy mechanics. I think those have probably been talked about already, but if I get enough time for questions and you guys want to see that, we can do that. Let's just talk about some Bastion routes here. So yeah, crossbow zero cycle, it'll be a thing. Oh, I forgot to talk about Iron Golem Farm. Shit, let's talk about Iron Golem Farm real quick. Okay. Iron Golem Farm is not viable currently, and most likely it will not be viable in the future. That's just the sad reality of things. However, I can guarantee you, if it is optimized, if someone does spend hundreds of hours making the perfect Iron Golem Farm and it only takes 5 minutes to set up, it is in fact viable and worthwhile. That doesn't exist currently. The same thing that could be major time saves. Okay, let's go over all the major time saves to get a sub 3 hour run. If there was any type of Thunder or Biome Divine, in order to help you find biomes or know when Thunder is going to happen or when it's not going to happen, that would be a substantial time save, just even in terms of reset efficiency. I don't think that's going to happen. The next best thing to save a considerable amount of time in all advancements is some way to either cheese the beacon or get all of your mineral blocks without doing very much time. Monuments of Bastions right now are not bad. And again, if we look at the time it takes to do the Ocean, which includes both Shells, Trident, and Monuments, and all of Nether, which includes not only Bastions, but Fortress Nether Wards, some Blazes, which you could do at the Skulls section, I guess, but Strider, Hoglin, Zoglin, killing all the other things, Reverse Uneasy. It doesn't take too long. I would say the Ocean is roughly 10 to 15 minutes of Monuments, depending on how you count the task overlap, and the Nether is about 15 minutes of Bastions. So in a really, really fast-paced run, that's maybe 25 minutes of getting mineral blocks total. In a slower paced run, that's maybe 40 plus minutes, 40 minutes to an hour or something, if you have really bad Bastions. So in longer runs, it's more viable. In faster runs, Iron Golem Farm, or some way to cheese the beacon, is not as drastic of a time save, but it's still there. So right now, this is the current build, just so you guys know. A simple Iron Golem Farm has 3 villagers, 1 zombie. A double Iron Golem Farm would have 2 sets of villagers, and it's a very simple setup. You only need some slabs. These slabs are just here to protect, make sure the golem can't spawn on these spaces. This is closed off right now, but when this is open, you can get 2 golems spawning per side. Right now, this is the collection setup. It's really bad. Oh, I pushed the golem over here. So the general idea, what are you doing, bro? The general idea of the collection right now is the golem flows this way through the lava, also takes damage, and then falls down here. And there's signs blocking the lava. The iron falls into one of 4 hoppers and gets transferred to a single chest. A single chest, if it's filled with iron and poppies, is enough to generate all of your mineral blocks for a beacon in a single chest. Right now, 2 hoppers is too much. Lava is probably too much compared to suffocating damage. The signs are a little unnecessary. I mean, the hoppers obviously take too much iron. That's 20 iron. Yeah, see, this is my even in-game time of 11 hours. I have made almost no progress. This is why we're not going to have an Iron Golem farm, is because I've spent 11 hours and I've made almost no progress. This stuff is incredibly difficult to do, even if you speed up tick rate. But in theory, if this is optimized, you could do a 2 villager setup, which generates 2 golems roughly every 40 seconds. You'd only need 4 villagers to start it because you can get 2 villagers in here, give them bread, they'll make a child. You make it so that it's childproof, and you just need a single zombie. And then this works as long as it's in spawn chunk. You can fly around anywhere. It's actually better if you fly away from it because then no mobs will spawn here and mess it up. Only the golems, the villagers, and the zombies will be loaded in. So anyway. One hopper minecart. Yeah, but it doesn't really. It doesn't really. So you can fishing rod eat the villagers. That is probably what the end build would be, is you get 2 villagers in a boat, 2 villagers in a boat, eat one to a bed spot and eat the other ones to a bed spot, and then give them bread. They make a child. There's your 6 villagers. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. In theory, it's possible to do a 5-minute setup that saves you roughly 20 minutes in the end. But with faster runs, and especially with like filtered runs or tournament runs or something, it gets less and less viable, and it's not really valuable. So I don't think Divine or Iron Golem Farm is going to be a thing, but maybe. If you think about other ways to speed up the AA run, there's not that much new tech that's going to come out. I do want to talk about Bastion routes a bit. AA Bastion routes are a bit different than your normal everyday Bastion routes. I'm gonna get my PB here, my FSG PB, to try to look at some. You want to talk to me after class? That's fine. I don't want to take away from Speed Nintendo's time coming up in 25 minutes. But hey, we can talk more about things. Okay, advanced Bastion routes. Bridge and Treasure are by far the best bastions to get. Housing doesn't have that many gold blocks or chests. Stables has a lot of chests, but it's way too slow for what it gives you. Bridge is very easy to mine all the gold blocks and then fly down to the other area. Is this Treasure? I want to show my Treasure Bastion route because it's a little bit different than what most people do. And I'd say for sub 7, sub 5 runs, probably even sub 3, honestly, do this route. Do this route, please. It's so safe. I see people throwing so much gold for distraction and like almost dying in lava and stuff in treasure routes. Please just do this route. Don't go to the lower section in this upper treasure part where the piglins are. Just don't do it. Mine through the walls, know where the gold blocks are. I personally hate leaving gold blocks in the treasure bastion, even though they're separated. I think most people just like don't want to deal with the time loss to get these individual gold blocks, but they're right here. Just do it. They're right here. Just do it. I dig 7 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then over. This is the original T-Wags Treasure Bastion route, and it's unironically valuable for all advancements. You can even hit a pig here to get into these chests. You never have to throw a single gold ingot in the upper treasure rampart, so you're not losing anything, and you can just grab all of the chests here. So if you need spectral arrows, if you need obsidian, if you need to organize your inventory, your inside the wall piglins are never going to get to you from here. I unironically think this is just a valuable treasure bastion route. So you do the same thing on both upper treasure ramparts. I think the only other route that is special for AA is a housing route, because there's a way to get through the back to get the gold blocks. But at this point, you can also escape out the front if you want to chuck some gold ingots or just deal with the piglins here. And then we're going to the lower section. The key is, I always get the 2 gold blocks on the bridge here. I don't know why people don't get these. Fyro gets 1. It blows my mind how Fyro gets 1 of these gold blocks on the bridge and not the other one. I'm like, why? It blows my mind. Anyway, grab these 2 gold blocks, go down to the bottom. The absolute key thing I see people messing up here is take 2 seconds to put blocks down over the lava. Piglins will not see the gold that you throw down. Piglins are morons. Their AI is garbage. Put blocks down because they will hit you and you will fall into lava and die. Just put blocks down. Even if you don't die, it's just going to be a time loss. So put these blocks down, mine the spawner. Do I forget to mine the spawner here? Oh, that's embarrassing. Anyway, if you're fast enough, you don't technically need to mine the spawner, but throw some gold ingots down, loot the chests, and then once you start mining gold blocks, the piglins will start raining down from the sky. If you throw down 4 gold ingots, you're going to be fine. They're going to hit you a couple times because piglin AI is garbage. Look, he hits me, whatever. They're only going to hit you once and then go get the gold. Even if he does knockback to me, I have everything covered. Take 2 seconds to put blocks down. It'll just help. Okay, that's it. So I would highly suggest this treasure route to anyone starting out. In faster routes, you can do whatever you want and get hit a lot. It doesn't really matter if you're better at the game. But Yeah. So that's what I would suggest. The other one is housing. Bridge is pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if I did a housing bastion. This is a stables. Do I do good gap here? I think good gap is pretty simple. Yeah. So if you're going to a good gap, you treat it just like RSG though. And then when you come back out of it, you just throw a single gold ingot to distract piglins. So what I do here is you put these 3 blocks, you mine all of the gold in this section, and then when you're coming out, you just throw 1 gold. Done. Easy. I see too many people throwing tons of gold ingots. It's just gold, which you're getting a bunch of gold blocks and only losing ingots, but still, like, the whole point is to get gold. You don't want to just throw 10 gold ingots for every, like, bastion section that you're looting, you know? So when you get out of the stables, if there's a pig here, you just throw 1 gold. You know, maybe they hit you, maybe you got to throw some more gold. I mean, they're dumb, their AI is garbage, but 1 to 3 gold ingots max. Like, don't chuck 10 gold ingots every time. So that's all I want to talk about. Oh, housing. Do I do a housing? Housing would be really convenient to talk about. That's another treasure. I wonder if I have bastion practice and I can just show you guys. Bastion practice? Ooh. Yes. Okay. Let's do housing. Okay. So in housing, if you're doing a top-down route, I would do an AA, I would do a Q route. Oh my god, it's lava housing. That's so upsetting. I would do a Q route. I always like to do this and put this above my head and loot the chests. Just because if you throw a bunch of gold ingots down and then loot these chests, and there's no gold in them, you're just losing gold ingots. I don't know. It's faster, but I just dig down too. You could do this thing too, where you go up to. I think this one is slower and pigs can still see you. So I would loot all the chests safely first. When you're coming down, I would do Q route in AA. So that means block up here, get these gold and these piglins to fall down, mine this gold and this gold, drop down, do the bottom ones here. But when you're doing these 9, I think there's 3 extra ones you could get. I think it's valuable to just do them. What do you guys think? So I'm at the end of the first 9 gold blocks in the housing. I think a lot of people are familiar with this. I'm facing the back. You only have to mine 2 blocks to get here. With an efficiency pick, mining this is pretty easy. You just do this, place the blocks, you don't fall, place the blocks, you don't fall, place the blocks, you don't fall. And there's 3 gold blocks here every time. So I don't think that takes too long. They're pretty easy to get. It's only 3, but people don't get these. It's really easy to do. Even if this is buried and netherrack, it's still pretty easy to just insta-mine all these blocks and come over here. So I would always get these 3. There's 4? Oh, I never get the 4th one, I guess. It's like weirdly hidden or something. There's 4? Where's the 4th one? I only get these 3. Is there a 4th one somewhere? One more diagonal from the other one? Really? Oh. Huh? Is it guaranteed to spawn? Are you sure? Well, Doipingu lied to us. There's no gold block. Doipingu's a liar and a cheat. It's guaranteed to the left? Wait, what? Is it like way over here? Huh? Can you bastion skip with good ocean RNG? Yes. Other side? This side? What are you guys talking about? You guys are saying left, but oh, there it is. Okay, there's a gold block here. I'll look for that next time, I guess, but I just get the 3. Either way, I would get those gold blocks. If that one's like 4 blocks away, yeah, it's still worth it to get. I mean, so I would just do that extra route. And if you're doing from the bottom, I like to just ignore the center 3 gold blocks up here and just go in through this side. hit up this chest, you go boom, boom, boom here, hit up this chest, and then you just go one to the left and then mine this way and you'll find the housing blocks. So I don't like going up for the middle 3 because they're a little bit out of the way, but you can do that anyway. Okay, so that's all I wanted to do with Bastion Routes. So is it worth to get 2 more blocks in Stables Gap? That one I don't think so because of the piglins. I don't have a way to stop the piglins from coming down, but it might be. It might be. Okay, that's it with Bastion Routes. So for the last 15 minutes, I want to talk about the 3 different how do we get here setups and which one you should use. The 3 different categories of how do we get here setups, there's a lot, but the 3 different main ones I would say are safe, how do we get here setups, minimalist, and Chad. I think most people would agree they're basically those 3 categories. Dogster came up with the first what I would consider a safe how do we get here setup. I came up with the T-Wags original how do we get here setup. I would consider a safe one as well. Of minimalist setups, I've seen Doi Pingu do one. Hofik has done a very different version of one. I've seen a couple different ones. I would prefer Doi Pingu's minimalist setup. At the end of the day, it's totally up to you which one you want to use. I would say you have to make beacon, potions, and conduit already. So you're already spending some time. It's about 2 minutes extra to do a safe setup, which has a single dispenser. That's why there's a little bit of a time loss crafting that. It has a safe shulker enclosure and it has a safe dolphin enclosure. The minimalist setup sometimes has a safe dolphin setup, but it usually does a nothing for the shulker, it just has a boat. The Chad how do we get here setup has essentially nothing. So it's 2 extra minutes to do the safe how do we get here, 1 extra minute to do the minimalist how do we get here, and 0 extra minutes to do the Chad how do we get here. I have seen pretty much 99% or more success rate with the safe setup. My personal opinion, if you're spending 4+ hours in a run, eat the 2 minute time loss and just do the safe setup. There are so many ways this game sucks. I cannot tell you how many different ways a dolphin has messed up, a shulker has messed up, eating has messed up, lag, wither rose, dolphin garbage, so many times. I would eat the 2 minute time loss and do the safe setup. If you're going for crazy fast times, it's probably optimal to use a minimalist setup. Maybe you could make an argument for Chad, how do we get here? Chad, how do we get here? The issue is Chad, how do we get here is if you practiced it 100 times, it probably has 95% or higher success rate, which isn't bad. If you're going for world record, that's probably a reasonable, to save 2 minutes total to get that high of a success rate. Chad is not literally free, Akranar. See, the problem with Chad is there are multiple things that are out of your control that can go wrong, which I hate. Chad, in a perfect environment, it's day out, there's no extra blocks, you made it on the side of an ocean, everything's rosy and everything smells great and it's a wonderful day out. Sure, Chad, how do we get here has a pretty high success rate. Tell me how functional Chad, how do we get here is when it's night, you got a zombie, a creeper, and a skeleton, you got items floating in the water, your dolphin is flopping around next to the shulker, gets hit by a shulker bullet. Yeah, do that, how do we get here setup, and then tell me Chad, how do we get here is free, okay? It has issues that are out of your control. And for me personally, I hate losing a run to something that's out of my control. If I lose a run to not eating or not flicking a lever at the right time, user error is something that I'm more comfortable. It still sucks, but I'm like, okay, I made a mistake. I'll work on that next time. That's okay. Chad, how do we get here has issues where that are out of your control. I don't want to ever deal with that. Minimalist, if you practice it, there are very few things that are out of your control. Dolphin AI could be an issue with floating items. Dolphin could get hit by a shulker bullet still. Well, if you're using the minimalist setup where Dolphin is fine, then that's not an issue. Let's go through the different setups. First of all, let's go through what my how do we get here setup looks like. I think everyone kind of knows what it does. But we'll just go through it real quickly here. The dolphin enclosure and the shulker enclosure are the 2 biggest things, and they're a considerable time loss compared to the other setups. The dolphin setup, this is not 100%, but this dolphin setup is like 99% accurate. If there's another item or something, the dolphin can mess up. Don't attack the dolphin, otherwise it's pretty good. Minecart dolphin sometimes messes up. It's kind of rare, but it sometimes messes up. Just having a dolphin attached to a lead sometimes messes up. Sometimes there's other items nearby. If the dolphin is outside of the water, sometimes it doesn't give you setup. No, Deadpool, if the dolphin jumps out of the water and it doesn't give you grace, that's out of your control. It's so out of your control. You have, if you ask someone, how successful is Chad? How do we get here? And have you ever failed it? And that person says, no, I have never failed it. 1, they're lying. 2, they haven't done it enough. It will not give you grace, Deadpool. Sometimes it will. I have had hundreds of practice attempts where the dolphin, simply because it's out of the water, does not give you grace. Hundreds. Don't look me straight in the face and tell me, oh, a dolphin out of water will give you dolphin's grace. Not 100%. No, you guys have not done it enough. I will argue with this till the end of time. I have these on recordings. If you don't believe that a dolphin out of water will not give you grace, you're lying, or you haven't done it enough. I 100% can show you this. 100%, dude. If you haven't had this issue, you have not tried the setup enough. You have not done enough experimentation. Either way, here's the normal setup. Send recording? I will send recording. If so many of you are like, that's not, I showed you the recording of the minecart and no one has. Everyone's like, oh, Minecart Dolphin always gives you grace. I sent you guys a recording of when it didn't work and no one can come up with a reason why. How much time did it spend out of the water? Literally 1 second. It just jumps out of water. It doesn't give you grace. 100%. 100%. I've seen it so many times. I'm shocked that you guys haven't seen it. I'm actually so convinced that every one of our individual Minecrafts has different dolphin mechanics, because I've seen people do the stupidest that always makes my dolphin not get grace. They throw an item out, or they'll do some crazy stuff where it's on land, it's chasing an item, and it still gives them grace. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I'll do the same minimalist setup that Doi Pingu does over and over and over. I never get dolphin's grace. I never get dolphin's grace from Doi Pingu's minimalist setup. Never. I don't understand. It's a good setup that should work every time. I never get it to work. I don't understand, dude. Dolphins just make no sense, bro. They make no sense. Yeah. Our dolphins are just different. I don't understand. Anyway, that was my setup. If it was too fast, I won't go through the individual effects, but it's secure in terms of the dolphin enclosure. The dolphin distance from the player is always within 9 blocks from wherever the dolphin settles. The shulker is only going to hit you when you want. You're always going to be in the swimming position. And holding down with the lever is the only issue compared to the Odogster setup. Instead of having to press a lever once, you just have to hold right click. The reason there's 2 spectral arrows in there is in case whatever order it dispenses, even if you hit the lever early and you're not in position to get by the arrow, the second or third lever pull will still hit you with the arrow. That's why there's 2 in there. And that's the how do we get here setup. Now, I think Doi Pingu's minimalist setup is the second best one. And I would, is this still showing up on screen share? I think it is. I would recommend, if anyone's trying to save 1 minute, this is the setup I would go for. I'm not going to show the building. I'll just show the very end. I personally can't get the dolphin to give me grace in this setup. That's the only reason I don't use the other setups. I've tried these hundreds of times. If the dolphin doesn't work for me twice out of 100 attempts, which in these ones, it doesn't work for me like 20% of the time, I'm just not using it personally. Oh, this is Ukster's? Okay, this is Ukster's minimalist. How do we get here setup then? Sorry. I see Pingu doing this one all the time, so. I don't know if Pingu's made changes to this one, but I think it's pretty solid. It's only... So the difference here is you don't have a dispenser, so you have to shoot yourself with an arrow. And the shulker is not in an enclosure. Most of the time, this is not going to give you issues. The dolphin is also secured up above. And you still use the same wall with the row setup that's guaranteed. So I think this one is really solid. If you're looking to save a minute, use this one. The dolphin being garbage is a big problem. So I like that the dolphin setup is the same on this one. But shulkers can be a little bit annoying. Shooting yourself with an arrow there can be a little bit annoying. Dolphin's grace, I never get grace, but Pingu always gets grace here. So he's doing something different. And you just eat the puffer, eat the stew. And Invis potion. There you go. Pretty simple. And the nice benefit of this one is if you want to clear the effects on yourself, putting a TNT here replaces the water. You put the TNT down, take off your armor, you get post-mortal, and then you get a little escape from your setup here. Really, really nice. So if anyone does this setup, great. I'd recommend it. It doesn't work for me, but I'd recommend it. The Chad How Do We Get Here setup, I would never recommend. And a lot of people that are hardcore AA fanatics that watch all the time say this is viable. I think you're crazy and you've never lost a run to this setup, or else you wouldn't be saying this, but who am I? Hey, if you want to trust the AA experts over me, you could do Chad How Do We Get Here. Go ahead. You're going too hard against this setup. If you have not lost a run to this setup, you have not done it enough. I guarantee you. So you can keep doing it. Once you lose a PB pace run to this and you feel bad, then you can reconsider if you want to keep doing it or not. It's not the bit. I legitimately have failed this setup at least 50% of the time. At least 50%. This is Maki doing this in a tournament match a few days ago, I think against Antoine. He has 2 dolphins on a lead. He splashes all of his potions. He's going to break this boat, use this. He gets hit by the levitation. This takes a lot of skill. This is the issue. That is literally, yes, Akranar, why don't you zero cycle every AA run? Why don't you crossbow zero cycle? Alex, I'm waiting for your response. Why are you not a proponent of crossbow zero cycle every single AA run? Skill issue. Absolutely roasted and destroyed. Skill issue. Stop it. Don't ever tell me skill issue. Every single technique you do in an entire AA run or any speed run, it's always risk versus reward. Always find your own risk versus reward. I'm not doing crossbow zero cycle, even though I potentially could. It takes a lot of practice. It's risky. I just want a safe, easy AA run. Especially at the end of my AA run, I do not want to be losing 4 to 5 hours of progress on a potential 1 minute time save. I don't care about the 1 minute. I will eat the 1 minute every single time. If this has a 10% chance to go wrong, that's way too high for me. It's just your own risk reward. If you practice Chad How Do We Get Here 100 times and you fail it once and your 99% success rate is acceptable for you, great, go for it. But for me personally, I think it's really difficult. And a lot of people that are running this category, this is far more difficult. Okay, so here's one of the difficulties with Chad How Do We Get Here. The timings are pretty precise. Levitation is 10 seconds. A glowing from the spectral arrow is 10 seconds. Dolphin's Grace is 5 seconds. Pufferfish is 15. Blindness Suspicious Stew is 6. Okay? Maki gets hit by a levitation bullet right here, shoots the arrow up, gets hit by glowing right here. That's a pretty solid time. I would continue and try to do this on this levitation bullet, even though you have other chances, because the potions and the notch apple have about 1 to 2 minutes left of time. So the arrow and the levitation are hit at the same time. I would try to do this. Maki swims, gets grace. For some reason, doesn't like it. I don't have enough experience with this. I've done this setup I've done it a lot in practice, but I've tried to change the setup because I'm experimenting with it. I don't know why Maki doesn't go with that bullet. And this is something you learn from a ton of experience, which is why I wouldn't recommend this to newer runners. For some reason, Maki thinks this isn't going to work. So he goes for another bullet and another arrow.
I wasn't sure if I had Dolphin.
He didn't know if he had Dolphin's Grace. The Dolphin's Grace was there, but he wasn't sure. Sometimes the Dolphins, they're right next to you on lead. Sometimes they just don't give you Grace, okay? So he's experienced enough to know that he needs to try this again. So he tries again. He gets Dolphin's Grace. He gets Levitation Glowing. Eats the pufferfish. Eats the stew. Places the rose. And that's how do we get here. The rose is difficult. If you misplace this, after a couple ticks, it breaks. Dolphins are not an issue even if distracted. See, Eldon, did you see Dylan losing his run yesterday? Okay, all right. No. All of you, no, it's fine. I don't, everyone's dolphin is different and you can't convince me otherwise. Everyone has, okay, my dolphins never get distracted by items. But if they're in a minecart or on the land, I never get grace. Other people, completely opposite. Every time it's minecart or on land, always works for them. But if it's chasing an item, it never works for them. Dylan, for some reason, where was it, 3 days ago? Do you guys know when Dylan's failed attempt to the dolphin happened? Does anyone remember that? Is that 3 days ago? Was it 5 days ago? This one? Okay.
Let's stack. Dude, he's actually bugging.
Okay, so Dylan has about 30 seconds on mining fatigue right now because his monument was pretty hard. It was pretty far away. So let's watch what happens and you guys tell me what happens. The consensus is the dolphin was looking at an item and chasing an item. Everyone says that shouldn't change. It doesn't change the code.
Yeah, the dolphin has to situate.
The dolphin needs to give you grace, but for Dylan, his game, unless the dolphin is situated and not moving, will not give him dolphin's grace. I have never had this problem, ever. I have seen so many people do this setup. I have never seen this issue. I'm convinced everyone's dolphins are all different. Okay, you see how his dolphin is just bouncing up and down for no apparent reason? This has never happened to me
4
before.
minutes for this guy to chill. Hunger? Yeah.
It's still bouncing up and down. His mining fatigue is like 30 seconds now. He has to do how do we get here? He has no alternative. You see how there's no items in the river right now? There's no items in the river. People are saying this is an item on the ground. Where is it? This is why I hate your dolphin setup. But I've never had it fail. That's the problem, Eldon. I'm convinced we all have different dolphins. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. It works for me 100%. I have never had an issue with the dolphin. 5 seconds, it always fucking works. Holding lead is 100% consistent for me. I agree, but then Maki, it's not.
I wasn't sure
Like, Maki has done how do we get here, Chad, so many times. Why is he swimming here 2 blocks from a dolphin and not sure if he has grace or not? He did get it, but you know this is from experience. You know this means he doesn't get it sometimes. If dolphins are chasing some items, like what may have happened in Dylan's case, Maki has the experience to know that the dolphin isn't always giving him grace. Okay, so Dylan, you see how Dylan's swimming around here?
Grace?
No grace.
Hold on, I'm not getting...
No grace. The dolphin is right next to him. It is not out of 9 blocks range. It's right next to him. He has full armor on. Look at what that, I've never seen my dolphin do that ever. So find your own optimal how do we get here setup. I would recommend starting with the safe. If you want to go up to minimalist and that works for you and you get grace, it says pitch? What are you talking about? What, huh? What are you talking about pitch? What are you guys talking about? You swim in water, you get dolphins ears. What? Pitch? You swim sideways. I don't know, pitch above 0. What? No, you get dolphin's grace when you're swimming in water regardless. Ukester, what? No, that's not true. If you swim up, you get dolphin's grace. What? What are you talking about? It's about stopping swimming? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Or learning. Anyway, it's 4:02. My time is up in the cow Discord. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry we didn't get the questions. I think what I'm going to do is end the screen share on Discord and jump out of the call. And then we'll take extra questions and talk about theory crafting and stuff in the stream. But I don't want to take over Speed Nintendo's time because Speed Nintendo is doing a 1.7 cow thing. So thank you guys all for listening. I'm sorry I went over. I wanted to do 20 minutes of questions, but join my stream if you want to do that. I apologize. And you guys can head over to Speed Nintendo's thing. So thank you guys. Bye, Discord. Bye. Okay, do that. Okay. Yeah, I kind of stole Speed Nintendo's 2 minutes. So, okay. If he wasn't holding sprint, he wouldn't get grace. Yeah, but of course you're holding sprint. Why would Dylan go down in the water and not hit sprint? Yeah, so hello everyone. We'll just vibe here for a bit outside of the Discord, and then I'll just end stream or something. There was netherrack in the river. See, I don't think so. That's what people were saying, and that's what I thought it was. But like you can see, I don't think there's any items there. Even if there was items, it shouldn't affect Grace. I agree, Quid, but I have absolutely seen items affect Grace when they shouldn't. It's not in the code. Like, it shouldn't. Dolphins on land and dolphins chasing items should not affect Dolphins' Grace, but I 100% have seen that as the only issue stopping a dolphin from giving Grace. By the beacon? This thing? I don't think so, because I think the only thing that's close enough is like 4 blocks from the dolphin. I don't think it's that far. A high pitch? Deadpool, oh my god, Deadpool, you take things way too seriously, dude. You take things way too seriously. I'm saying that different people have different experiences with why dolphins fail. I'm not saying the literal Minecraft code, Mojang has changed it individually for every person. That's not what I'm saying. It's not a literal statement that the code is different for everyone's dolphin. The dolphin shouldn't fail. I agree. So explain to me why I'm in a minecart and the dolphin isn't giving me grace. So you guys are saying pitch? You guys think pitch is the explanation here? Where did you send stuff? Euxer sent stuff? Somewhere? AA cord, where did Euxer send it? Yeah, send it. It's only pitch. So you think Dylan wasn't holding sprint here? You think that was the issue? I mean, that's definitely, like, why wouldn't you hold sprint though? I mean, that's obviously an issue. I mean, I guess I can ask him. That would be an easy solution. Like, but well, I mean, you have to get Dolphin's Grace by swimming. Why would he not swim though? He's done this so many times. He's got to be holding sprint, dude. There's no way. If your pitch is below 0, you can have grace without holding swim? But see, that's the other thing that DC brings up is I've never seen a dolphin behaving like this. Like, dolphin behavior absolutely affects whether it should give you grace or not, which doesn't make any sense. But when my dolphins are bugging out, I see them not give grace too. And this dolphin is doing some weird stuff that I don't see that. So like, I don't understand why this dolphin is bouncing up and down. It looks like it's doing some weird activity. I don't understand. It's like I don't know, dude. Right, everyone is bad at dolphins in their own unique way and they do different setups to counter. Exactly, CTM. Exactly. I have just had so many issues with Minimalist and... Like, I swear, dude, I swear I have this recorded because my dolphin is here. My Minimalist setup is a block of water and then water underneath it. It's water flow. I am 3 blocks away from a dolphin with full armor. I go down, I swim, nothing. Nothing. And the dolphin is just sitting there on the normal lead setup. Nothing. It's like Minimalist, for some reason, it's 2 water blocks down. It doesn't work. If it's 2 blocks sideways like this setup, it works 100% for me. So like... Maybe it's a pitch thing? I've never heard that before. But like, dude, I always do this. I do this exact same thing. Like, he's swimming up and down. You guys are talking about pitch. Look at this. What are you talking about? I don't get it. His cursor is down. His cursor is up. There's no grace. Like... It's above 0 and under 0. He's just not getting grace. If you're telling me he's not pressing sprint right here, that's an explanation. But like, Dylan, a runner he's at sub 4 pace right now, not holding sprint during how do we get here? I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Minimalist is this. We went over it before. Minimalist is essentially, this is the Euxter version. It's, no. Yeah, this is it, right? It's a water block and then a source block below it, and then you have the walls and wither rows, and you just use the shulker and a bow right there. You can optionally just have the dolphin on a lead, but Doipingu's dolphin messes up, so he puts it on the tether. So this is minimalist right here that Doipingu's doing. Is he turning around back and forth too quickly? No, you get Dolphin's Grace instantaneously. Like on frame 1, you get Dolphin's Grace. I don't think you need starting velocity. Yeah, so minimalist here. You don't have a dispenser and you don't have a shulker enclosure, so you save about a minute of build time. So, and then you can do post-mortal with a TNT pretty quickly here, which is pretty cool. So I'm a fan of minimalist. I like this one. That's a good one. Chad, for me, the reason I don't use Chad is 50% skill issue and 50% things out of my control, mainly Dolphin. I've done the same thing 10 times and the Dolphin just doesn't give me grace once, and I'm like, well, that's it. I don't know. The Dolphin breaking in Dylan's case? Yeah, I mean, it has to be something with Dolphin AI, right? Like that we just don't know about. Because, like, what in the world is this Dolphin doing? It's just going up and down over and over and over. It's like not chasing an item. It's in this weird, like, I don't know, it's in a weird state, dude. I don't do any testing in creative, Deadpool, no. I do all my testing in survival. For setup testing, I'll do some in creative, but attempts I'll always do survival. I've never heard of this pitch thing before, so we'll see this, and then I'll try it as well. Yeah, the Dolphin is but what is the Dolphin distracted by? See, I actually don't think it's distracted. I think it's in a different state, but I don't think it's distracted, because when you put the Dolphin on a lead to begin with, it sometimes, like, you know, when a Dolphin is surfacing, the Dolphin will be swimming. There's like regular Dolphin swimming when it's slow. There's Dolphin chasing an item, and then there's Dolphin like breaking the surface, you know? Like sometimes they fly really high out of the water. They do that Dolphin like breaking the surface animation. I feel like the Dolphin is constantly in breaking the surface animation right here, because it's like it's trying to leave the water, but then the lead just pulls it back down into the water. They break the surface when they need air, but no, not all the time. I mean, they break the surface periodically because they need air and water. Like it's not just like they stay in water for a minute and then they break it. They just constantly break the surface, especially if you have a boat. You know, when like you're boating and the Dolphin is there. Maybe it's because is there a boat nearby? This reminds me of exactly when the Dolphin is next to a player on a boat and it's trying to break the surface next to the boat. You know what I mean? It's constantly in a different state. Like it just keeps going up and down, so. Oh, okay. It's a lot of Dolphins. Well, okay, you have Grace. Okay, and then... Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Right, but you're not swimming. What? You weren't swimming, though. Oh, you're just talking about yeah, but it's not refreshing because you're not swimming. That doesn't have anything to do with starting. That has nothing to do with starting. Right, you don't have to be moving to refresh, but that's regardless for the setup, because once you eat the stew, it doesn't refresh anyway. You don't need to be moving in the setup anyway. You have to start the Dolphin's Grace, and then it doesn't matter. What happened with Dylan is he didn't start Grace, even though when he was swimming. What I'm saying is, if you can prove to me how you cannot begin Dolphin's Grace, then it would explain the Dylan clip. But pitch doesn't have anything to do with starting Dolphin's Grace, which is the problem Dylan had. If it doesn't refresh, that's not an issue. The setup finishes before it refreshes. So the refresh doesn't matter at all. Was his trapdoor in the same place? Is it in the right place? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I think that's correct. So it'd be like this, that, and then that, and then dolphin. See, if you can figure out a way to... Wait, it's refreshing? Oh, if... Yeah, because if my pitch was higher, then it wouldn't be in swimming. It would just be stuck. That's what you're saying? So I get grace, and then I look up, and then it doesn't refresh. Yeah, that makes sense. But can you begin swimming and not get Dolphin's Grace? That's my question. Because regardless of how I swim, I'm just always going to have grace. I don't see a way where Dylan's could have... Oh god. Only, yeah, I mean, if he's not sprinting, then it would make sense. That's the only reason I would see, is if it's not sprinting. Run. Oh. See how I didn't get grace right there? Are you guys... How do you guys argue that if the dolphin's on land or in the air, you still get grace? I don't get how you guys say that. I just swam when the dolphin was jumping into the water from the air and didn't get grace. And every time. You don't get grace though. How do you guys... Oh, I'm in creative. I'm in creative. You're... That would make sense. And now I should... Hello? 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 Is anyone paying attention to what's going on in the game? I'm in survival mode. I have a dolphin jumping into the water from land, and I don't get grace. Is anyone seeing anything? Am I a crazy person? Like, how are you guys arguing this, dude? Like, I don't understand. How do you guys... Now it works. Great. If the dolphin is jumping into water, it's not giving you grace. Like, it's literally a jumping into water animation. If it's like stationary and it can't jump into water, like it... Yeah, kill yourself, you stupid idiot. But you guys saw me have a lead on a dolphin, and then I jump in the water and I don't get it right away. Streamer, are you okay? Dude, I'm tired of all these AA people being like, actually it's a skill issue. Dolphins work perfectly every time. Like, have you tested this for half a second? I just showed you. I jumped into water, pressed R, and I didn't get, I was facing down, so it's not a pitch issue. I have a dolphin on a lead, so it has to be within the blocks. I don't have invisibility. I'm in survival mode. I don't get Dolphin's Grace right away. What's the explanation? I get, well, I know I am part of the AA people, but on this one, I always say like, oh, I like my safe how do we get here setup because the Dolphins consistent. And every time I say it, oh, T-Wags, you're actually just bad at the game. You don't understand Dolphins, and they always give grace regardless of what's happening. It's like, what are you guys, how much, what? You guys are living in some fantasy world where Dolphins just work correctly. I want to live in that world, dude. Like, you guys saw me. Is it because I started in creative and spawned the dot? Like, what's the issue here? I don't get it, bro. I've done it so many times. Yeah, now he's fine. I don't know, dude. I don't know. In your defense, I don't think we have ever claimed to completely understand Dolphins. Yeah. I didn't get grace once. Agreed. I don't get grace once, and then I get it 10 times in a row. So I'm just saying, like, it works most of the time, but it doesn't work 100%. Right, Deadpool, but you could do 15 jumps in a row and they all work. I've done that too. But if you ever have one instance where it doesn't work, like I just did, I'll literally just show you. Like, can I go through my... I just did a video example of when it doesn't work. You can't argue with me just producing a video literally a minute ago that shows it not working. Like, it's video evidence. You can't. Okay. Survival mode. Dolphin on a lead. Jump into water. I press R right here. No grace, no grace, no grace, no grace, no grace, no grace. I'm out of water. Where's the grace? Where is it? And if you're telling me I'm not holding sprint, you're a psycho. I'm definitely holding sprint. And then I did the same thing. Look, no grace. I go into the water. Look at this dolphin jumping into the water. IDK, what you did wrong. Deadpool, jumping into the water, pressing R. There's nothing you could do wrong, dude. The dolphin AI is just garbage. Dolphins go into different states, and only some states can give you dolphin's grace. I'm positive that's what works. Depending on what state the dolphin is in, it's not going to give you grace. So right here, no grace, no grace, no grace, no grace. I was sprinting the whole time. Again, you can see my hitbox go down. This means I'm sprinting. There is no grace. You see how the dolphin is currently jumping into the water? No grace, nothing. I'm swimming. I'm pressing R. Now, as soon as the dolphin hits the water, the first tick, I get grace. That's the dolphin is in a different state. There are definitely different states to dolphins. And sometimes, if it's in that state, it doesn't give you grace. That's the same thing that must have happened to Dylan. The same exact thing. Is it's doing the out of water, trying to get into water state, okay? So if you're not seeing that, I don't know what you're doing where you can't see that, but I agree with you. When I try to do this, if the dolphin needs water, yeah, maybe. See, like, I tried to do this 10 times in a row to recreate it. I can't get it. Look, I jump in. Okay. I swear to God, when I'm trying to prove that I can't reproduce it, I reproduce it. When I try to reproduce it, I can't reproduce it. You saw it. I swimmed and I didn't get grace, bro. I swear. I can't get this to work when I want it to. I swear. You saw it. Like, I'm not a crazy person. I'm not a psycho. You hear the voices too, right, chat? Right, chat? See, I only get grace when the dolphin finally hits the water. Mental issue. So, you guys can call me a weenie as much as you want for doing a safe setup. But at the end of the day, we don't understand Dolphin AI right now. And until we 100% understand it, the dolphins give grace until it has been out of water for a certain amount of time. I don't know, because I just did this, and it was like, look, it's just out of water now. Oh, I got grace instantly there. It's so hard to reproduce because we don't understand it. It's like impossible to reproduce. What the hell? Yeah, no grace, no grace. Now it's grace as soon as it hits water. Yeah, it's if the dolphin is in a jumping back into water animation, it doesn't give you grace. That has to be the same reason that Dylan's not getting grace. He's swimming, he's within 9 blocks. You could see the dolphin trying to do its submerging and getting back into water thing. Yeah, maybe items on the floor are putting the dolphin into the trying to get back into water mode or something. I feel like if someone actually delves into the code, they would find the dolphin has different states, and I feel like it would probably become clear to us at that point. But so far, all I've heard is the dolphin, if it's within range, it should give you grace, which is clearly not true. Like, we've seen it many times. He was swimming for like 3 of those dolphin cycles. Yeah, I think the dolphin is thinking that it's not in water permanently this whole time. I don't know how he got the dolphin into this configuration, because this has never happened to me. This has never happened to me. I just swim up the water, put the dolphin on the lead. It's the same setup I use, right? Like, there's no difference. Oh, there's netherrack there. Oh, I can clearly see the netherrack now. I could clearly see it now. Okay, I didn't see it before. He picks one up. Oh, does he just not pick it up? I'm an idiot. Yeah, there is netherrack there then, probably. Dolphin plays. Yeah, you're right. Dolphin plays. He picked up 2, not 3. Okay. When he looks over, I don't see it, so I didn't think that was the issue, but yeah, that's it. So I think dolphin playing animation sometimes puts it into the state where it's going from air to water, and that state, it doesn't give you grace. The dolphin code, yeah, I don't know about any code, dude. Your sprint key is broken. Yeah, see, look at its dolphin. Look at this thing. It's always doing this. It's always attempting to get into water, and in that phase, it's not going to give him grace. So he's permanently screwed until he picks up that item. Dolphin plays can give you grace with lead. That's true, FX. But here's the thing, FX. If it's in water, it'll give you grace. Look, if I throw an item, dolphin plays, I get grace. Because the dolphin isn't entering water state. See what I mean? But then when you're swimming, yeah, no, I think that's true. Like, if the dolphin's always playing, am I always gonna have grace? Underwater? Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a combination. I think it's this mysterious, like, dolphin entering water phase. And the reason that Dylan gets it here is because there's an item. The dolphin is in a state where it's trying to enter water and get the item, but it can't because it's on the lead. And the reason when I jump into water here, and I'm not getting grace only sometimes, is because dolphin is attempting to get into water, but only sometimes. You dumbass. Your coding is so garbage. Yep, no grace. No grace. It's trying to get back to water. See, you guys always saying dolphin on land has no issues. Explain this full infinite not getting grace while the dolphin is on land attached to a lead. It's trying to get into water right now. I don't know how you guys actually get grace when it's on the land. I actually don't understand. Because, like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe if it's like on a leash and it's stuck on land and it doesn't want to go back into water, then it's fine. Like, maybe if it's right here and it doesn't care about being in water, then it's fine. Yeah, I'm fine. It depends what state it's in when it's on land. So if it's on a lead and it's vibing, oops, then I get grace. But if it's returning to water phase, I don't get grace until it hits the water. Oh, wait. Oh, because I hit it. I attacked it. That's why. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, I get grace if it's just on land vibing. But if I attach a lead to it, and it's not in the water yet, and it's attempting to get into water, no grace. See? Oh, I lost it. Where is it? Dolphin? Okay. Anyway, I just did it like 5 times, so yeah, I think that's it. I don't know where the dolphin went. I think it just vanished. I don't know what happened to the dolphin. It's gone. I did that 20 times in a row, screen sharing a VC, and it worked. IDK, why you're not getting this, and is why it's weird. Deadpool, maybe there's some, are you saying maybe each person has different dolphin mechanics? Perhaps? That you were roasting me for earlier? Perhaps I was correct. Skill issue. I mean, you guys saw me for like 10 straight seconds with the dolphin on a lead, not getting, like, if I put the dolphin here and put a lead on it and then go into the water, I need this stupid thing to go away. Oh, now I get grace. But before, when the dolphin was stuck in a cave, I didn't get grace. It's some weird state. Like, sometimes it's in that state on land or chasing an item, and sometimes it's not. Yeah, now I get grace every time. It's so hard to reproduce, man. What is up with dolphins? It's so, you do the same thing a bunch of times, and it's just hold space with the sprint key. Like, refreshing, or? I mean, this dolphin is just working for me, though, for whatever reason. Maybe if the dolphin is seeing water... Wait, there's my dolphin. Oh my god, here he is. Oh, now I get grace because it's already in the water. Reproduce it with... It's hard because the dolphin needs to be into like going into water phase, and I don't know how to get it to do that. Yeah, it just gives it to me right away. So I don't know. I mean, if the dolphin can't reach the item, that's what puts it in this state, I think. Yeah, oh, I'm holding sprint. Yeah, I was holding jump and sprint right there, Dipple. I was holding jump and sprint for a second, and then I let go, and then I did both again, and I was swimming the entire time, and I wasn't getting grace. Once the dolphin hit the water, then I got grace. It like... Oh, give it slowness? How do I give it slowness? How do you do that? I mean, you could do potion. I don't think I can give it a higher... You didn't sprint at the same time you could see when the sprint animation started? What do you mean? I jumped in the water and then I hit sprint and jump at the same time. What do you mean by... How else do you want me to do it? Oh, effect give at type dolphin? Oh. Let me go to this scene actually, so I can full screen this and it's not as laggy. The second you started sprinting, the dolphin gave... No, Deadpool, I was sprinting the entire time. I was sprinting the whole time. As soon as I hit the water, I hit sprint. You could see my hitbox move too. The dolphin was not giving me grace for a full second. That's not true. You could see before the dolphin hit the water, I did not have grace. 100%. I can pause it next time if you want to see while I'm sprinting and I don't have grace. Right there. You saw my hitbox shift down? I'm swimming. No grace. I have strength. There's no grace though. Swimming again. No grace. But now that I heard the dolphin hit the water. Oh, I'm in creative, damn it. Because I had to go to creative to get this stupid thing. Never mind. Reset. How do I get food? I want food. This is so hard to reproduce, bro. Okay. Back him up. Okay, now I get grace. Yep, of course. Of course. Every time you try to reproduce this, you get the opposite effect. Okay, now it's gonna give me grace perfectly. I swear, every time you think it's gonna work, it doesn't. Every time you think it's not gonna work, it doesn't work. I just did the same thing twice, bro. I just did the same exact thing twice. I swear to you. There's a random call involved with the dolphins. There's gotta be some random, dude, there's some random weird state shit, dude. I'm telling you. Oh, are you saying that's actually true, Penguin? There is an actual random call when giving grace? What's the VODs for Dylan's? How do I get here? There you go. It's 558, 559 in. Yeah, we do need someone to inspect the code because, like, the people that are on the safe side of things, it's because they're doing something or doing some part of the setup that makes the dolphin not give grace. So they just go safe and they're like, I don't need to look at the code or understand it. Like, dolphins are bad. I'm just going to use a safe setup. But the people who use chat, how do we get here? They're doing some weird setup. Like the way they do it set up, they get dolphins grace consistently every time. And so they don't need to look at the code because to them, there's no problem with the dolphin. But like, I'm over here, my dolphin never gives me grace. Like, and I can reproduce it like 50% of the time. There's nothing weird with Chad. It's literally just sitting in the river. Eldon, what if the dolphin jumps in the air? What if the dolphin jumps in the air and you don't get grace? I just did it like 20 times in a row. It doesn't give me grace. If it's chasing an item and it's in the air, it doesn't give me grace. How could you say there's nothing wrong with Chad setup? What do you mean? It's based on its state. See? Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. If the dolphin is jumping out of air, it's in a different state. You're swimming around, you're not getting grace. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, finally someone else besides me. I've done it like 50 plus times and never failed. Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it. I think everyone's setups is slightly different and everyone's like, how they do it is slightly different. But like, you've done that 50 times in a row and always gotten it to work. This is the safest setup in existence. And Dylan's done this 50 times in a row and it just like doesn't work. His dolphin's just like spazzing out, dude. But yeah, you can totally see what I'm talking about here. The dolphin, as soon as it goes into jumping out of the water animation, bam, I have a suspicion it will not give you grace for the next like 2 or 3 seconds. Because look, you're clearly swimming right here and there's no grace. No grace, no grace, no grace. Now there's grace. 100%. Yeah, Hammond's recreating it. There's plenty of people that are recreating it now. So whatever Eldon is doing, we need to look at the code and figure out, because Eldon is doing it right. But that shouldn't even affect Chad if that happens. Well, yeah, if the dolphin, see, I think it only, like in this instance, it only has a couple seconds, right? Because it jumps out of air, it doesn't give you grace, and then once it hits the water, it's giving you grace. So like, yeah, I agree, Eldon. If you're waiting to finish for it to jump, then that's fine. But see, the issue I have is like, I try to replicate the worst conditions. Holy, are you okay, dude? I purposely try to recreate the worst conditions in my how do we get here setups to mimic like what would happen if something went wrong. And so like I've got a zombie over there, I've got a skeleton over there. Sometimes the arrow hits the dolphin or the shulker hits the dolphin. I purposefully scatter some items around and stuff. So when I have an item out here and the dolphin is trying to attempt to get it and it's not in the water, sometimes it doesn't give me grace. So I think if you're in a perfect world, you're probably right. Chat, how do we get here in a perfect setup where you wait for the dolphin to get back in water with perfect execution? It's probably 100% success rate. As long as the bullet doesn't hit the dolphin, that's the other thing. Items are under your control, kind of, but like sometimes a fucking raid party spawns and they shoot a creeper and the creeper blows up on the raid party and there's a crossbow sitting there. Like there's weird shit that happens all the time. It's all advancements. There's weird shit that happens all the time. Sometimes you just have items. Like I agree, skill issue, L plus ratio don't have items anywhere, but like random shit can happen. And I don't want to lose a 4-hour run to random shit, dude. I'd rather spend a minute to just make sure that random shit doesn't lose me the run, like I wouldn't be surprised if like a phantom spawned and swooped down and like blocked my shulker bullet, and then like a phantom membrane messes up my dog. Like if that happens in my run, I'm just taking the L. See, if you want to take the L, that's fine. I don't want to take the L to something out of my control. If I'm losing an AA run, it's my fault. If I'm losing an AA run, it's to me being stupid. I refuse to have Dolphin AI mess up my run. You know what I mean? That sucks way more than skill issue to me. What if the thing that happens still happens to you? I'll remove the items from the water. I mean, I think it was item-based. If it's not item-based and it happens to me, then I don't know, man. This never happens to me. So Eldon's probably done it 50 times, and he's practiced it a lot, and he does it the same way every time, and there's no issues. But I've done it 20 times and it failed 5 times because of other random stuff I put around, and so I'm not going to use it anymore. So I mean, Eldon, if you can explain to me why I don't get grace half the time when the dolphin's entering the water, then maybe I can work on it and make Chad how do we get here better. But like half the time when I do this, when the dolphin is jumping in the water, I don't get grace. If someone can explain that to me through the code, then I'll try new setups. But like right here, this is exactly why I don't do minimalist and I don't do Chad. Because I'm swimming, a dolphin is 4 blocks away, and I'm not getting dolphin's grace. So this is the only reason I don't do these new setups. The only reason. And maybe the solution is just skill issue, wait until the dolphin's settled, be better at understanding dolphin AI, but I just don't understand dolphin AI. I just don't get it. I always sit in the water while drinking potions and have the dolphin there. Oh, you do potions? Oh, you drink potions. That's a big difference, because I splash potions because I think it's faster. But if you're drinking potions, then you're letting the dolphin just like chill in the water for a lot longer than I am. Yeah, you could throw on your head. Yeah, I guess you just throw them here. I've also had, so in my like 20 different attempts, one attempt, the other 2 issues I had besides the dolphin AI being garbage is on one attempt, the dolphin intercepted my arrow. So I was just like here and I just did this and the dolphin jumped up and hit the arrow. And the second issue is when the shulker was right here, the bullet went through my hitbox and hit the dolphin behind me, and the dolphin started levitating, and I didn't get grace. Has that ever happened to you, either of those 2 things? Because like, I feel like those 2 things are rare, but out of 50 attempts, that's never happened? I only did like 20 and that happened once, but I'm trying to recreate garbage stuff, so that's never happened? Wow. I don't know. I feel like out of 50 attempts, at least one of those, the dolphin just decides to jump and hit you, but maybe you're doing it in a way where like the dolphin just does this. Like, what is this? If my dude, if my dolphin behaves like this, bro, what is it? Bro, it's like perfect behavior right now. What is this? If my dolphin just sat there like this, I do chat how do we get here all the time. What is this? It's just vibing, dude. This is great. Worst I've had was arrow hit shulker bullet and didn't notice, but that's skill issue. True, kind of true. Because you could pause abuse to get rid of that, I guess, to figure out and make sure you have both. It's gonna drown itself. It should get air, right? Dolphins aren't that dumb. It's clearly gonna go up and get air. Right? Surely. There's nothing around it. There's no items. No, it comes up to get air. Surely. Surely it comes up to get air, right? Just a couple seconds here. Just a couple seconds. Surely it, Squid, don't you Airset volume 0. No, I'm not going to type it. This is an experiment. I'm going to see if this dolphin comes up for air. It has to. Dolphin AI is not that bad where a dolphin just sits in one spot and dies. There's no way. As soon as it realizes it's running out of air, it goes up to the surface, right? I mean, it will with the command, yeah, but I want to test it. There's nothing attached to it. There's no items. Surely it comes up for air. Now, if I kill the squid, it's going to drop an item. It might change it. It might chase the item. It'll take 4 minutes boring. Anyway, does anyone have any questions from the community thing? I'm pretty done streaming. I just wanted to test out this weird dolphin thing to prove to you guys that dolphins are in fact weird. So many people in the AA community are convinced that dolphins are just normal and there's nothing wrong with them. And I will not rest until you guys agree with me that dolphin AI is actually garbage and we do not understand them. So if anyone has any more questions, we could talk about those. I didn't get into a lot of stuff, but like specifics. But I feel like we talked about some good theory crafting stuff. Like I really feel like Silk Touch enchanting, Gold Tool enchanting, skips are going to be more common. Yeah, DC, we went through, I touched on the Iron Farm a bit and the stats to it and stuff like that, but we didn't get into it too much. Yeah, dolphins have issues, I guess the more important thing. I did talk about what to look for early game. I think you can break up any technique into sub 7, sub 5, and sub 3 as far... Oh! Go! No! 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 Oh my god, no, bro. He was so close. Oh, he died too young. He almost made it. Dude, he was going for air. He was actually trying to go for air. He's too low on health. Oh. That was funny. So sub 7 type runs, which is like beginner stuff. If you're starting off, if you're in your first 5 runs or so, Temple Ocean is always a good idea. You need a desert temple for security, for gunpowder, because you're going to be using a lot of rockets early on. And if you're newer to the version, you're going to be not using them as efficiently. Ocean, you'll want an ocean for your how do we get here setup, at least to start. Once you get more comfortable with it, you can start to do river and landlocked how do we get here setups. For sub 5 runs, I would recommend doing everything, every type of seed. Every single thing you see off spawn should contribute to your reset conditions. So if you have 2 rare biomes and 3 donkeys off spawn, play the seed. If you have a solo desert temple and it has good gunpowder, play the seed, even if it's landlocked. If you have one rare biome, a beehive, a village, and a shipwreck, play the seed, you know? For sub 3, it starts to get back into Desert Temple Ocean, but for different reasons. You need Desert Temple for enough gunpowder to do an initial routing of the ocean to get a trident, and you want an ocean nearby spawn to guarantee that you can get trident and shells earlier into the run, because trident and shells end up being the reset condition for top runs. So it kind of flips back and forth between sub 7, sub 5, and sub 3. Or any question? We looked at the code, and in conclusion, I'm clueless. All right, Penguin. You make gold axe in your next run. Yeah, I think if you have Silk Touch and you have the diamonds, probably just be boring and go with the diamond axe. But if you don't have Silk Touch and you're a little stingy on diamonds, yeah, make it gold axe. And if you see Unbreaking 3 as an option for tools and you don't want to burn a tool, gold axe. Gold axe is great with Unbreaking because it already has efficiency. Like, it's good enough. How close should I make the village for AAFSG? I usually reset the seed unless there's a village and a temple within 16 chunks. But the village can be within 16 chunks of a temple and I'd still play it. The only issue is when you look at the spawn points, it begins to get a little bad, because if I spawn at neg 250, neg 250, and the temple is guaranteed within 100 blocks, pause, that's still a reset. Running 2 minutes to get to a temple to start the run is just a 2-minute time loss when I could just reset and not have that time loss. So the village and temple should be within 16 chunks, which is like 150 blocks. Well, yeah, about 150 blocks of the spawn position, or the village compared to the temple. And if you can't like filter for spawn position or something, then you just have to reset the neg spawns like FSG. It's kind of how it goes. I have sub 10. Should I go for sub 8 or sub 7? I think sub 7 is doable as a first couple attempts. If you've done the AA route once, you should have a general idea of how to do everything. Practice your reverse uneasy. Practice your how do we get here, and practice your shulker yeet. I think sub 7 with the RNG is doable, even with someone who's only completed a run a single time. If you want a sub 5 Acroner, you just have to suffer through the pain, because sub 5, you're in the most awkward position in terms of PBs, because you want to get more experience, so that even if you do get a sub 5, one day you could go sub 430, sub 4, and try to world record, because like sub 5 is a hard barrier to get, and anyone with the sub 5 with the right RNG is going to be able to sub 4. So you're in a weird position where you want to play out all runs to get experience. You want to play out painful runs so you know what to do when you have low gunpowder, when you have low lapis, when you don't have a diamond chestplate and you have to get one throughout the run, all these weird things. That just comes from experience of playing out runs. So you want to play out some garbage runs, but you also want to reset 2 hours in when you don't have any shells, you know? So if you just want to get a sub 5 and quit the category, then play juicer spawns, play temples, play ocean, reset if you don't have them. Yeah, if you're in it for life, dude, if you spawn in a mega taiga village that has like 10 obby and 3 iron, oh, of course play that seed. Oh, of course play it. Is the run gonna die because you don't have a desert temple within 1k of blocks off spawn and it dies 40 minutes in? Yeah, probably. Probably, but it's a great experience. Learning how to cope with a no gunpowder run. Like, I've played so many no gunpowder runs, I know that doing a 1k blind is actually more beneficial than hitting I Spy, because along that 1k blind, if I have pearls and food, it's not that big of a time loss, and if I see 1 or 2 lone creepers, I get 5 gunpowder before I enter end, I'm good to go. I've looted so many NCDs without a single rocket that you just get hit by shulker bullets to go up if you need to a couple levels, you water bucket, you pearl around. As long as you have the food, you use the regen or the instant health potions when you take damage from the shulkers while you're floating as a task overlap to regen your health. You could do a whole entity with no rockets, no problem. You just need the experience. So sub 5, it takes a while because you're purposely not hard resetting. You're not Feinberg. You don't have a 12 instance wall. You're not resetting, 50 seeds every minute. You're not resetting after an hour when you don't have a trident and shell. You're not coming back from end 35 minutes every single run. You're playing out garbage runs for the experience so that when you get into a good seed and you have an issue, like, you know what to do. So there you go. Is that Brent Tilda's seed? All right, what is the seed? I mean, that's the problem, is the answer to, I didn't even put in seed. The answer to what do I need to get a sub 5 is different from what should I reset for to be a good sub 5 player and to improve in the long term. They're two very different answers. If you just want a sub 5, only play Desert Temple, Village, Ocean Spawns, do Mending and Channeling trade every single run, and just play over and over and over. If you want to get better at the game, it's going to take you longer to get a sub 5, but you should play out different scenario runs for experience. So, like if Feinberg comes across a bamboo jungle with one panda and then he finds another jungle with another panda and it's later in the run, he just resets. If you want to keep playing out that run and it's actually pretty good and you're having fun, make 2 nether portals at 2 different jungles, go to the nether roof, get both pandas on the roof, and then panda yeet on the nether roof. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it going to take you 5 to 10 minutes? Yes. Is it worthwhile to get the experience? Debatable. But it's pretty funny. And you'll get pandas bred. Yeah. You have to do it somehow. Actually, I guess you don't need the other panda on the roof. You just eat one panda to the other jungle, right? Yeah. Is it going to take you 5 minutes? Yeah. Is it a bad time loss? Yeah. But you could honestly still sub 5 with a nether roof panda yeet, Is this Dolphin Dream CD? Or is this Dolphin Force and CD? Oh wait, Hama says, from my 5 minutes of testing, I figured out that whenever I don't get Dolphin's Grace, it's because the moment it went out of the water, it was doing a jump. It doesn't give Grace until it's back in the water. If I remove it from water without it doing a jump, it goes instantly because I guess it's still swimming. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I agree. I think that's consistent. I agree. We're learning things about dolphins every day. By 2030, we're going to be so good with dolphin AI. Oh my God, we're actually going to understand dolphin AI by 2030. When you're just starting speedrunning, you recommend RSG or AA straight off? I would recommend RSG any percent for sure. Try to get a sub 30 in RSG any percent. I know people are cracked and getting sub 10s and sub 11s and stuff right now, but if you're just starting off, it's it can take a while to understand and get good at all the mechanics. Like, in Minecraft is a really hard game. Bastion routes take forever to learn. Bastions are tough. Not dying at fortresses takes forever. Triangulating can take forever. So once you get a sub 30 any percent, then I think you should be comfortable enough trying an all advancements run. Yeah. The dolphins spawn inside the setup. Yeah, exactly. It's a fresh dolphin. Okay. Cool. All right. Oh, actually, are people still here? Dang, I should have asked this right after, but we were doing this stuff. Is Penguin or Oliver MCSR or Duncan runs here for a question. Probably not, but that's okay. Oh, you guys are here. Okay. So, Penguin, you might not know you probably don't know the answer to this, but was it in this run? I think it was in this. No. So yesterday I was doing offline runs and it started thundering at the edge of a jungle when I was starting to do pandas. So I made a nether portal. I found a fortress. I exited the nether into a savanna. And then I saw a creeper right away. And so I threw a trident. It was, there were no clouds. It was dark. I threw a trident and it just hits the creeper. And I'm like, that's weird. It's thundering right now. And the mod is in there, so it's guaranteed. And so I did it 2 more times and it just hit the creeper and bounced off. And I flew around and it just didn't work. It was raining, but there wasn't thunder? I couldn't actually figure it out. Like the mod just doesn't work sometimes, I guess. So I don't know, it's more of a question for Duncan, but Oliver also uses the same data pack code for the tournament. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I think I renamed it this. Hang on. I definitely have a recording. Where is the recording though? It is this one. Ah, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I'm starting to do pandas, but it starts raining, right? So pause abuse. I'm considering doing thunder skulls. So you can hear thunder. Thunder roars. I go to the nether. And this is only a couple minutes to get here, and it's guaranteed to be 10 to 20 minutes because of, it's always thunder when it's raining. And rain is 10 to 20 minutes. Okay, so I exit the nether. It's Savannah, so it's not raining, but unless I'm a crazy person, I've done this so many times, it doesn't matter what biome you're in, the thunder's thunder. It still works. I've done this in Savannah plenty of times. So there's no clouds. I throw the trident, it goes straight through. I was like, I throw the trident, it just hits the creeper. I'm like, I've done this like 10 times now, and in Savannah many times. And then I go to the river and it's raining. So I'm like, it's raining and the mod is in. It has to be thundering, and I heard it was thundering. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, maybe it's the mod broke and it's only rain now? Under a tree. Yes, you're right. Under a tree. Yes, you're right. Okay. Because I'm like, dude, I know it's thundering. I have to be missing something. I like racked my brain for so long. I'm like, well, what the hell am I missing here? It's thundering. Like, am I stupid? So I tried this 4 times and I just didn't pay attention that it was under a tree every single time. Are you telling me I hit a creeper 4 times and all 4 times it was under a tree? Oh, god damn it. Oh damn it. This was a good run too. Wait. Is that under a tree? Oh, damn it. How? Okay, first of all, Whenever I go on a rant about hitboxes and this game's hit detection being garbage, okay, no, all right, hitbox, yeah, skill issue, yeah, let's see it. Let's see hitbox defenders now. Yeah, skill issue? Huh? This is a single player world. There's no desync. You telling me this? Where are the hitbox defenders, huh? You gonna tell me skill issue on this one? Oh, I hate you guys so much. I hate you, hitbox. This game's hitbox detection is garbage and you know it. That went straight through a creeper and you know it. It's not a skill issue. You guys are so annoying. I hate you guys. I hate you guys. So this is under a tree? Is that leaf really? Yeah, I guess I just thought subconsciously this wasn't a tree, but then I didn't really think about the other attempts. This is under a tree, really? I guess. Yeah. I mean, surely that's what's happening, right? That just doesn't look like it's under the tree, but yeah. It has to be, right? The first one and the last one definitely are. This one definitely is. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up. I was like, I gotta be missing something, right? It's on the last leaf. I mean, it has to be. It doesn't look like it to me, but it's gotta be, right? So, okay. Cool. Thank you guys for hanging out. I think we're just gonna end stream and pass over a raid. What'd you guys think? You guys have fun? Was that cool? Did you learn something? I think we went over so much stuff that everyone had to learn at least one thing. Maybe it was controversial and stuff that you don't really care about, like Iron Golem Farm, but you had to learn at least one thing. Sorry for gaslighting you. No, it's fine. Like, dolphins, just, dude, I don't know, man. No one can explain dolphins. It's just impossible. I got here whenever you started complaining. Dude, shut the fuck. You suck. You're the worst. Yeah, Dylan's situation was tough because he had literally 30 seconds left on mining fatigue when he needed to start, so he didn't have any time to do anything. So check that video I sent you. Okay, it's downloading. Who should I raid? Maki's doing a co-op. HPG is doing Jackbox stuff. Crooks is on. I mean, I do like raiding subathon streams because they're pretty fun. They're pretty entertaining. Pretty hype. But Feinberg does have 700 viewers, so. Let's see this clip that Hama sent me. Instant. Okay. Hama the Goat predicting. And this one's going to be delayed. Is it because of how it jumped? He's so right. Hama's actually a god. He's figured out dolphins. Is it because how it jumps out of the water? Oh, because if it... Oh, I see. You know it's going to be instant. Because it's in like... It's in a comfortable like existing on land position. So it doesn't matter if it's a land or it goes to water. It's always going to give it to you here. It's never going to be in jumping out of water phase. But when it does this jump, it's out of water. And so it keeps its phase out of water. It keeps its state. Yeah. I see. Yeah, see, it's doing this weird garbage thing. Yeah, you could tell. Look. It's horizontal and doing this. So it's fine. And this is exactly what Dylan's dolphin was doing. It's in the... It's in a jumping phase. Yeah, it's in the process of jumping right now. It's very different. You can tell easily. Yeah. Every day goes by, we learn more about dolphins. One of these days, we'll figure it out. 2030, we will completely understand dolphin mechanics. One of these days. Remember the day. I wonder if this was all his minecart. Yeah, Ukester, if it jumps into the minecart, that's probably it. Yeah. I probably put the dolphin in jumping state, and so it's never giving grace. But then the other times where it works, it's just in normal land state. Yeah. I wonder if that solves minecart dolphin. Wait. That might solve minecart dolphin, but can it go to jumping state if there's an item nearby when it's in a minecart? That would destroy minecart dolphin, because that would force it into the wrong state. If minecart dolphin is always in the same state, then we might have a solution here. We might have a solution if they never change. Who should we raid? I don't think I've ever raided Crooksed. Oh, Shippoman's doing A. I did just raid Shippoman though. Crooksed raid would be kind of fun. I've never raided Crooksed. Wait, he's doing Samantle. Alright, you guys let's help Crooks do Samantle. What a stupid time to raid. Alright, this is the worst time to raid Crooks. Let's do it. What a stupid idea. Alright, we'll go help him do Samantle. You guys have to spam words that match the top words, okay? Don't Samantle spoiler, but try to help him, okay? Bye everyone.